Today's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan podcast is brought to you by
the Arnold Palmer Invitational. It's happening March 1st through 5th.
Yeah,
and
man.
We've got an exclusive offer just for Tom and Dan listeners, and it's to the White Claw fan deck. And this is only because we got a BDM internal that put this together for us.
He reached out to us. I mean, this is a upgraded ticket between the 15th and 16th hole.
Yeah.
You get a private bar. You get the bathroom. The players have a walkthrough area right there next to the 16th hole, and you get to see some of the greatest golfers in the world. But you're in your little private area.
Yeah.
You're tucked in there.
There's the bar, the food truck there, and there's seats. You also, there's a huge jumbotron, so you can see the live telecast. The best golfers in the world, and our tickets through the link at tomanddan.com, and you can only buy them through our link.
Yes,
this
sir.
isn't available anywhere else.
No.
They're only $100. General admission is $80.
Yep.
Like normally these tickets are $130 a piece. Like I know some BDMs have bought these for Valentine's Day
Well, I
presents.
knew some people that emailed me and got them ahead of time and didn't, and they're like, well, I'm just going to get the fan deck thing anyway because it's a better value. I get the food truck. They got cheesesteaks and burgers out there. You're going to have a private bar that's yours, a bathroom.
This is a gigantic golf tournament at Bay Hill, so if you have that golf lover in your life, I'm telling you, check this out. Again, it's March 1st through 5th. You can get tickets for each day. We're going to be out there recording a segment for ACT on Thursday.
The click-throughs at tomanddan.com. You can't miss it. Look for the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Yep, and you have to get your tickets through that link, through the Tom and Dan link. Again, it's the White Claw fan deck at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, March 1st through 5th. Get your tickets while they last.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, everybody. It is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
There's no Sam here. There's no Sam.
Yeah.
Where's Sam?
Seth's here. How you doing, Seth?
I'm good. How are you guys?
So,
Seth Petrozelli on the news, playing the part of, I guess, Sam, is and wearing EJ's red shirt. Apparently, every guest we have in here has to wear a bright red polo shirt. It is our friend from Remy's Round Table. It is our friend Remy. But no Sam. Guys? I'll point at no Sam.
Well, I knew Sam was going to be out today because her husband Travis having a minor surgery,
having a thing,
and she's got to take him to the doctor
taking
and all
care
that.
of her baby.
It's fine.
Taking care of her baby.
Anybody out. He's fine.
It's all good stuff. But he's taking care of her baby.
So I had no idea that Remy was filling in for Sam today until he showed up.
I had rumblings of it, but again, I will say I thought it was how you say a joke.
At this point, I think. What is Sam? She's bullying me.
For me,
I've done nothing to her. All I've done is support her show and listen.
If I agree, you've never listened to her. If I agreed with you, it would be as if the two bosses were like dogpiling. So I'm gonna leave it out there to say that she could have left no one in her seat.
She could have
just
attack.
Oh wow!
It's shots fired.
Yeah, really. It's as if she floated a big balloon over you for days. It's as disrespectful as the Chinese balloon.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, Remy, thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah.
What do you? Oh my God, you're drinking one of Tom's Diet Cokes. Oh, off to a bad start.
All right, I'm leaving. All right, peace out, guys.
You don't have to leave. Just don't drink his Diet Cokes. He needs them.
Did you ask? I always ask for
Yeah, you do always ask.
It's fine.
I don't take anything because it's all
I
garbage.
did say make yourself at home, but just not the Diet Cokes, buddy. Not the Diet Cokes.
We're gonna. Can you read some emails later, Remy?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got them right here for you guys.
He's got 'em written out.
We'll get to that.
I'm working out. I'm working out pretty good.
Sam, I hope.
It does feel odd, right?
Don't worry, I'm not gonna mess it up, or I'm not gonna f it up or anything for Sam.
You can say fuck it up. This is the uncensored show.
Oh, it's uncensored. Oh,
This is
good.
the uncensored.
Remy's never listened to this, by the way. He only
Remy,
listens
let
to
your
radio.
hair down. Let
He
your hair
only
down.
listens to radio.
Yeah, he does
All
only
right.
listen to radio.
How you doing,
We've
Seth?
had multiple events. Remy's never been to one, but he'll go to a real radio event. I'll tell you that. He'll be out there.
He's a radio guy.
Okay, he's a radio guy. We were radio guys once.
I think this is
how
radio
dare
still.
you.
They're like, what do you do on Friday? I go to the radio on Friday
Oh
sometimes.
my God, we're surrounded by nothing but incompetence.
So, Seth, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What the?
Okay,
fuck?
Can I be honest with you? It's darker than it usually is. It's darker. It's dark. It's like
It does.
I've been putting
I don't want to get beat up today. It's a weird day. Sam's already hijinksing us a little bit, and then you come in and it's
Go look. You know what I did last time he said
I
it?
don't say you're a liar. I'm not saying you're a liar.
I'm not
I'm just
lying, I
saying
swear to
it
God.
appears as if your body is naturally darkening your beard hair.
When my brother, recently had cancer, went through chemo.
Right.
He came out of it with like a month later when his hair grew back and his beard grew back. It was like 100 times darker and thicker. So I don't know, maybe just all my like weird sicknesses and stuff like that just make stuff grow darker and thicker. I really don't know. I swear to God.
It's gotta infuriate you that a man you've never seen with a beard comes in here with a beard that fucking good.
And I even grew my hair. Last time you guys made fun of me, I grew my hair out for like a week and a half or so where it looked really clownish, where it's on the
looks
sides.
good.
But I looked to make sure. I was like, well, maybe I have gray in my hair, my head, and not my beard. But no, I had Tracy inspect. I was like, do you see any grays in my hair? And it was all dark black hair growing in my head. So I had no fucking
right?
gray hairs.
How do you do that?
But only
I'm using really good beard oil, like it's like JoJo oil and like coconut oil. And
Is
just,
it dye? Is
No,
it
it's
literally
white.
black JoJo oil?
It's white.
Are you using the black JoJo?
no, I'll
I
bring the
feel-
shit in that I'm using.
look at
It's
this,
literally
look
just
at mine,
oil.
gray
It's
as
thick
fuck.
as black
I need
paint.
to put some black
I don't know.
JoJo
I
in
mean,
there.
you look close. There's grays. There's
Not
reds.
many.
There's
Not
reds.
like this.
It's there.
Look at that.
It's there.
I'm glad we brought up hair because
Yeah.
we do have a new sponsor, and it's Manscaped.
Oh, cool.
And so
I thought you might like that one.
All right.
I know you like this one is for guys like you
all right.
that like to, if you want to like reduce the amount of nicks you get when because you buzz it all, right?
Yeah, I won it. I zero.
I mean, besides your delicious, it's a delicious beard. Besides your brand new delicious beard, from the beard down, you are a Manscaped man.
I have like a little Superman style.
Let me
thing
see
down
it.
there.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
No, come on.
Let me
come
see
on.
it. What's wrong with that?
If you use promo code Tom
I
and
bet
Dan,
Jen wants to see it.
No, come
Remy's
on.
wife's here.
Whip
What'd you
it
do
out.
on the podcast today? We
Come on.
we showed Remy's wife what a real man looks like.
I only do it at more inappropriate times.
Isn't that what people do when you're on a like if you think you're a real man? Don't you look at the other girls and you're like, hey, why don't you get with a real man? I've always wanted to say that, and you know what? I'll never be able to say it because I'm so tiny and weak.
use promo code Tom and Dan for 20% off and free worldwide shipping.
Yes.
When you buy any of the Manscaped products at manscaped.com.
The Lawnmower 4.0. You got one of those?
Are we talking about like trimmers or like gels that
What do
get
you
release the
want?
hair?
They got
They've
got the
got a
trimmer.
lot of different
They got,
products.
what do you
yeah.
need? They got the
I
2
do
in
a new
1.
trimmer. I need something for my back, but Tracy gets it sometimes.
Well,
but
she
it's
could
easier
use
for-
this. She could use the
okay.
lawnmower on it,
Okay.
and you could use it on all over. And now that you've got a beard,
The hardest part is the spot between the taint and the chode area,
Yeah,
the butthole.
yeah.
Because I put a mirror on the ground, I squat
Remy,
over
you
it.
making?
and
I see Remy making a
Got
note.
it. I'm writing it down, man.
What are you writing down, Remy?
All that's important is you use our promo code when you
okay.
buy.
That's all.
Well, I'm just saying, and I will say
20% off.
Manscaped does make really, really high quality, good products.
They make some
and-
nice products for sure.
And what's important is it won't nick you or cut you when you're shaving your balls.
It reduces.
Because I do. I have cuts in my chode every
No,
time I
it
do
reduces the nicks on your chode, and it makes it easier down there. And if you use Tom and Dan, that's our promo code, Tom and Dan, you get 20% off. You get the free shipping. And I would get what we have. We got the big old, we got the big pack. We got everything. I got shampoos. I got 2-in-1 body wash.
The
I got a
Smells
beard
good.
trimmer
they use like these ceramic blades that cut back on any sort of nicks and stuff. So they got technology into their trimmers.
Now, I will say that it works even better than I've had other trimmers, and this one works even better. This one, you can get down in there, you know, like on the sides.
Nooks and crannies.
In the nooks and crannies. You probably have what I have. Do you have the scars on the inside of your thighs?
Yeah, from the lines. The lines.
That's true athletes have that. True athletes have that.
I do have that.
Do you have that? Do you have the lines?
I don't know what you're
do you
talking
have the
about.
scarring in your thighs?
I got a couple.
You got a couple. True
scars.
athlete. True athlete.
You
Thank
don't
for
trim your
service.
butthole. You like
The butthole.
dingleberries get all. If you don't clean good, it's all.
Remy, you trim your
You got to
butthole?
be clean.
No,
No
I'm trying to butthole. I mean,
Out to the ball. You
All right, well, I don't want to be
at
at the same size as him. So
What?
I would.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well,
I just no one sees it.
Yeah, if there was ever a time to get
Bullshit. When your girl's down there, like maybe 69, some weird position there.
No
69
girls
somewhere.
down.
Oh my god, I did a new move. So I was with my wife like this, right? And she
Wait, she's standing on her
okay,
hands?
no. I'm eating. Right?
No, come on.
I'm doing the thing, right? And then she went to her side. So imagine
That's called
she
an
went-
11.
She went to her right. She went to her right side.
called an
So
11.
you know what I did? Because I'm so small and weak, I grabbed her thighs and then I went like this. I went. Zoop, whoop, woo! I went up and around like I did because I'm so small like a baby.
Wait, what?
I just took my legs and inverted them and went around her, and then I was in her.
Oh, I see.
No, come on.
It's like a circus act.
I don't know.
roller coaster.
Remy, you ever done that?
it sounds like a roller coaster to me, but
Well said, Remy. Sounds like a roller coaster to him. Back to you, Tom.
When you cut that Manscaped commercial, cut the end button. It's like a national buy. They work things
it's a
everywhere.
Manscaped. You know
a big
the
company.
Manscaped.
Oh, I
it's a
know
big
exactly.
company.
I know.
Big company.
Anyway,
Company.
They got the
some
toner.
bucks rolling
You
in
spray
there.
the toner on your balls.
So
That's a thing?
Yeah, it's like tightens them up, makes them like.
dude, it's smooth. Let's put it that way.
Yes, thank you, Remy. This guy's a fucking pro
When
over
it's
here.
cold, it's tight anyway. But it's still wrinkly.
tightens it up, and then you got to get that ball deodorant they have. You put that on there, a little lotion on there, makes it
I've never
smell
smelled
good.
that. It's
No,
cancer.
it's fine.
So,
it's fine.
Seth, I know you got to leave a little early today because you got
apologies,
some testing. So, what is it now?
Correct. So the kids program has grown so much, which is awesome, that normally we have kids testing on Saturday mornings and afternoons before the adults because we get the kids done first. Then we have the adults in there and test. It's an all-day event from like 9 a.m. to 7 o'clock in the evening. So we got so many kids now, we have to separate it. Now we have to do Friday evening for kids only. So we start at 5:30 p.m. and go to about 8:30, 9 for the older ones.
Congratulations, because when he said you had testing today, no bullshit, I thought you had like about your hypochondria.
Oh, I did that.
And
You did that already.
well, the fact that you didn't and I was wrong, maybe you're getting a little
Oh,
bit
but it's
better.
coming.
No.
There's no getting better.
I'm not.
As it only gets worse. That's everything.
That's fair. That's fair.
So the
Chest
test.
X-ray 2 days ago. I was
What were you testing
Chest
for this time?
because I was having some congestion. I was freaking out.
Congestion. You know, it could be allergies.
I know that. That's what the doctor said.
Okay,
runny nose,
look
you
at
get a-
Dr. Daddy.
A test, you know, chest X-ray. That'll give you cancer.
I know, and I had an in-depth conversation with the radiographer. Like I was in there, I was like,
Radiologist,
whatever he is. I was like, so
Yeah, it's
I ask every one of them, like, so what about this? How bad's the radiation? Like, seriously, it's like flying from here to L.A. It's not a big deal.
Like
I'm like,
flying from here to LA.
I'm like, so you're saying people that fly a lot?
It's like
are
flying
more-
from here to LA a million times.
Yeah. There's like old school like flight attendants that have problems
Yeah.
from flying so much. You know, and then astronauts like they get free radicals.
Yeah,
free,
I know
all
about the free radicals.
Free radicals.
I know that band.
That's food.
So-
That's a 90s band. I
Let
thought
me
about.
ask you, when it comes to kids testing, because I would be the type of sensei that if they got close enough, that I'd be
It's
like,
not-
just
no,
give.
no, this is not
'Cause-
horseshoes,
Well,
no.
Oh, I've had kids cry and leave because I didn't pass them.
Yeah, because that's what you want to hear. Because that makes it like that means it's an authentic
Not
dojo.
cry and okay, they didn't cry and leave.
Do you
but
do
they-
the Gordon Ramsay cry where you make them cry because they failed? You're not mean to them, but then later you come and you're like, you can do this.
No, I
You'll
put
be a-
2 belts on the outside of their head and it's like, you're a shit belt sandwich. No, I don't.
My God, that's aggressive.
I don't do that.
So-
No, I make them. So I make them do Tameshiwa, which is board breaking.
Tameshiwa.
I don't put them in the test with my instructor unless I know they're good to go, or I don't ask them to test. And the parents always come like, well, why is everyone testing except my kid? I'm like, they need a little bit of work. You know, they
Right.
can work on this, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't stick them in there for this test unless they kind of, for the last 3-4 months, they've been showing.
Remy's mad as
You know.
fuck at his wife for leaving her notifications on. look how mad Remy is. He's like, Jen left. He's like, I'll fucking deal with you later, Jen. You're going to get a talking to in the Corolla on the way home.
So that rarely happens where they actually do test and then fail a test because I make sure that they're good to go.
So you're setting them up for success. success.
Exactly.
You're not going to put them in a situation
Where
where they
they're
could
gonna-
be testing for something that's impossible.
Exactly.
And if they showed up and they absolutely wouldn't do it, you'd be like, nah, you're not wasting my guy's time because he has to come down to do it.
Right. Oh, yeah, he's got to come
That's
up-
actually
up
a
to do
decent
it.
system, man.
Yeah, so they still get the responsibility and the letdown, I guess, of knowing how they have to do better if they don't test.
Yeah.
Get put in the test.
Yeah.
But they don't get that hardcore, like,
Do you have
everyone gets a
one-
belt and you fail.
Do you have one kid that's been there for a really long time and he keeps failing the test and you're like, oh,
No, just the little ones, the young ones. Man. All
little
the
babies.
ones from like 7, 8 up are good. But
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
well, they're babies.
Yeah,
They're babies.
yeah,
it's-
like
it's
you know,
hard.
4-year-old. That's insanely young to
Yeah, I still-
It really
comprehend.
is. But then occasionally you'll get the ones that excel.
Oh, I know. Sometimes
And
I get
then-
the natural athletes. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm making sure this
3-year-old.
kid's staying with
Yeah,
me.
and you're like, oh my god, I'll do anything to keep you in my
Oh,
dojo.
yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
we
Oh,
should
that's
be
interesting.
we should be more realistic with society. I'm on this whole
Oh no.
I'm on this whole "you're born this way" kick
Yeah,
with
yeah.
everything though.
Yeah.
Like because people.
What do you mean with everything? Explain.
Well, like you know,
Like, lady
now-
checking me out. You're being a bitch. You were born this way. I'm cool with it.
Well, now, like especially in you know, we have this whole you're born with the sexuality you have, right? So, like,
yeah, so you're drudging. You're
Expanding-
we're wading into some dangerous waters.
No,
I like this. I
no,
like
no. But
this.
expanding on that, I mean, that's a you know,
You're
in
born
fact,
unathletic and untalented, is what you're saying.
You're born the way you are, and
yeah.
then we should just like accept that, and
Yeah.
then you move forward. You know, with that
well,
You're
in mind.
classic nature versus nurture.
Well,
You
the
can
problem-
definitely train your way out of it.
Well, the only problem with that is
Some
that,
can.
that some people, like, when do you decide, what do you decide to give effort to? Like based on what you're saying, you're like you're giving people an excuse. You're giving people the ability to just look at anything that they're doing unless you set like guidelines. You're giving anybody around you the ability to just go, I'm sorry, man, I'm just born that way. I can't do anything about it.
That's
and that
lazy
to me
morale.
is bullshit.
Agreed.
Yeah, there is well, not always,
Now,
but there
I look at you
is.
like you were born lazy.
But it's not foolproof.
What are
It's
you
not
gonna
a
do?
foolproof excuse, right? Like you have to.
you
it can work
you
for
still have
some
to make an
things.
attempt and work for it. Yeah.
No, he doesn't say that though, because we had this
No,
argument with
of
him
course.
yesterday, and he's like, "No, it doesn't work like that."
I was very unathletic and untalented when I was like 7, 8, 9, 10 when I was just starting karate.
Yeah.
And then,
When
like,
did you
I was
start karate?
12, 6, 5, 6, 6.
Sick.
Now, I would argue
86,
that you just
1986.
you just didn't know
Yeah, you hadn't
that you were
activated it.
genetically
Maybe,
gifted
maybe,
because
I
you
guess.
obviously are based on your body type and scientists like looking at you and saying, well, you know, you've got longer muscle bellies and then different things
Oh.
and tendons and things like
Yeah.
you're just genetically gifted. I see Maisie and she's
But I didn't look like that when I was
gifted.
younger. I
only to a
trained my ass
point.
off to do that. Like I was a pudgy kid, not athletic at all. Like I don't know. I saw videos of me when I was young, and I was like, oh my god, it's awful.
Yeah, but it was in there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe it was-
it
So
didn't
you're
change.
saying
Maybe.
you're
Your
only
genes
allowed-
didn't
I don't
change.
know. I don't know if I trained myself to get to where I was, or maybe the genes kicked in at a certain age where it helped out.
Or you're only allowed to say that if you, if in your heart you feel like you're unfortunate and an idiot, right?
Well, no. I'm just saying with anything, like the ability to.
Because what you're saying is true, but there's
bullshit
also
or your imagination or your creativity or different things. Like I even
Like,
feel
I
like
can't draw or shit.
What's that?
I can't draw like artistic stuff.
Yeah,
like
I can't draw
Like,
either.
Same here.
Yeah, I can color
Thank
really
you,
good.
Remy.
Like we often attribute Daniel's quick wit and comedic talents
Talent.
I'm on the slide.
to being bullied, but maybe he just always had it. And then when he was bullied, he used it.
It just like activated.
and then, but it didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of his
It's like a
thing is-
latent type of disease that
Like,
just activates.
Your thing is
I don't
kind of like an activation, right?
Or it's
I
just
can get on board with that.
Yeah. I can see that.
It wasn't the bullying; is you always had it. Plenty
I mean,
of kids that bullied that got nothing.
Okay, like I can't argue against that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, I like. That's a better argument than the everybody's born this way and there's no way out.
No,
Because
no.
I feel like there are some people that were born that way, but there's an absolute.
So we just have to bully people to make sure that.
No,
I'm
but
just
I
saying,
mean,
find the way you were born and act appropriately. That's what I'm saying.
Find the way you were born.
Well, there's got to be something in there, and maybe you're not utilizing it. Maybe your kids aren't utilizing it, or just look at them and say, and recognize their talents and act accordingly.
all right, yeah, fair enough, fair
Anyway,
enough. You want to do a little good and bad?
I'm just fucking around, by the way. Yeah,
no,
it's
you're
just a
good. Don't
bad.
preface. My God, that
No,
ruins it.
People get mad. And
No,
mad.
don't do that.
yeah, I know how that is. It sucks.
I just don't care.
No,
I used to not care.
yeah,
I
don't
don't
preface. You got to just say it and stick with it.
I'm sticking to it.
All right, he's sticking to. Are we doing good and bad?
Let's do it.
All right, here we are, y'all. It's the song everybody
Hi,
loves.
me Seth. We're gonna tell you a couple stories, okay? You're gonna be impressed. Me tell you 2 stories, one good, one bad. Me tell you a good one. Me promise you'll laugh. Wait, why me see chat room saying good ones seem kind of bad? Huh. One story good. One story bad. One story feel happy. One story me sad. One story me big, big hero. The next me douchebag. One story me good. Me really good. Me telling you this story good. One story me bad.
Seth Stories brought to you by Injured on the Go. Just call Mo.
It's a tiny mouse because it's on the same channel.
All right, Seth, what do you want to start with?
By the way, his whole family is testing for him. His daughter, his son, his wife, and himself. Jason. Go karate.
The Mo's family?
No, Jason. Did the song.
Oh, I don't care about Jason. I only care about Mo. You're stepping on Mo's
Come on,
Fuck
sponsor.
Jason. Fuck Jackal.
I was like, Mo knows karate?
Yeah.
At the time.
Mo.
Jesus Christ.
After Mo
I was
didn't
like,
buy-
his kid is so young.
After Mo didn't buy my boat, I don't care about Mo. And he didn't hire my sister. My sister's about to pass her bar exam, by the way.
Well, that didn't. How does that help Mo?
Well, because she can.
She's about- well-
she can bring lots of, I don't know, talent to herself.
She didn't even pass her bar exam.
She's about to, though.
Okay,
Come on.
well,
Well, hopefully
My
she'll pass
God.
the first time.
hire my sister. She's about to pass her bar exam in a couple of years.
Internships, man. Okay. Anyway, oh, it went off. Okay, so I'll give a couple more stories. Well, it's actually one story, but there's a
Is
couple.
this good or bad?
This is the bad.
Okay, this is.
Oh, damn.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's more. I felt bad after this happened. So
Okay.
this is one of the rare ones. Where I actually,
Okay, all right. So there's
I know
guilt-
I
there's
did. I
guilt
know I
involved.
did wrong. I mean, I wanted to do it, and I don't know. I don't know if I would
Okay.
do it back. Anyway, so the last story when I talked about my working for my grandfather for those few years, like on the summers during high school and like beginning of college and stuff like that. Some fucked up things that I did, knocking down like the stem wall and building material and stuff like that. Always messing with my uncle, crapping in Sobe bottles.
That doesn't bother people. You know, the one that triggers people the most is the peeing at bars.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just standing at a bar. Even Remy. was like,
I witnessed that, all right? I witnessed that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I witnessed it. Yeah.
Me?
No, I was like somebody peeing at a
Oh,
bar.
I was like, why don't you come say what's up?
I don't understand what
I
you're
was like,
saying.
let's go.
What's up,
I
son?
didn't know
Like,
what-
You saw someone else do this?
Yeah.
so it's normal.
Hold on. It's
Where
not
was
normal.
this at, Remy?
Okay, so it was back.
Yes.
It was back over the Hideaway. I saw someone peeing like.
Hold on. I like that Hideaway bar.
I
At the
do, too.
Dolphins bar?
Yes, Dolphins bar.
Oh, man.
This was years ago. So
Oh, hold on.
I was with my buddy.
Was the guy really tall and big?
No, it was not you. It was not you, Seth. No.
Okay.
So my buddy and I, we were down there having a few drinks over by GB's bottle shop, and we're like, hey, let's go grab some food over at Hideaway. He goes, all right, cool. Yeah, we saw 3 guys peeing in the backside of Hideaway. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
No. I mean at the bar.
Oh,
You may have been
He's
witnessing.
pissing onto the floor inside.
I'm ordering a damn Bud Light and urinating right as I'm doing it.
I mean, like
I've
that
seen
way
people
where
piss
I mean,
outside
yeah.
on a tree.
You may have witnessed 3 dudes like circle jerking or something. You know.
And it wasn't just me. It was I was talking about my.
As
really
you get
tall
older,
friend.
I pee less with, like, when I was in my 20s, I would stand with you and pee in the woods. In my 30s and 40s, I would not do that. I don't know why. I just don't do that as much. Although, with no Sam here, we pee with the door open.
yeah.
And I poop with the door open.
It would regress to that.
I do that now with Tracy. I used to close it all the time.
Poop with the
Now
door?
it's just,
Open?
I hear spray the spray. Spray the goddamn spray.
You know what?
That's
She
Tracy.
told me to do that earlier this morning. I'm like, damn it.
You poop,
okay.
you poop with the door open?
Absolutely.
Jen, you poop with the door open? Yeah, you both do.
Tracy
hide
did that.
yourself.
I-
in shame.
Hide yourself in shame.
Yeah.
Does Tracy poop with the
no,
door
hell
open?
no. I make sure. Sometimes I break in and film her, and she gets really pissed.
You
but-
film her pooping? What the fuck is wrong
Yeah,
with you,
I
man?
don't know. It's funny to see her reactions.
Okay, it is pretty funny. I laugh. All right.
Back to the construction
Okay, back to the
site.
construction
By,
site.
by the way, I think a lot of people are ignorant to what happens at a construction site and how
Well, it's
bad
just animals throwing bricks at a building until it's completed.
how horrible. the behavior is
Yeah.
at most construction sites between all the workers there and what they say to each other and how they behave. All right, keep going.
So we're at this down south, and the house is almost complete. They sent us out. It was me, my uncle, and one other guy. And they used to get high all the time before they used to start working.
And you wouldn't, right?
No, I was like, I couldn't even smell it. Like, I had to walk away at night.
Like, drugs are bad, man, but pissing at the bar, that's where it's at.
It's called getting your head right. I know a lot of construction workers, they have to smoke a joint before they start doing hard work.
Tighten up my fingers.
I never understood it until I did it. I was like, yes, doing work high is better.
Yeah, I didn't understand it until I became addicted to drugs as well. And now that we're all addicted to drugs, it's like...
You just forget where you put your screws.
It's fine. They're in your pocket. Always in your pocket.
So we get there. The house is almost complete. It's like almost, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a certain point of the house where the AC's in. No walls or windows or anything like that. Walls are there, but the windows, doors, nothing like that. We're doing like a final grade on the outside of the house. And I'm having a particularly really bad day. I don't know what happened, but I hated the area. Like, it was hot and sweaty.
Too many minorities.
No. The owner of the house actually was there, just like nitpicking, and that usually never happens.
Woman, right?
No, it wasn't like an old guy. It was an old guy, just being a dick, like yelling at, like not yelling, but like, oh, make sure something like this motherfucker.
The quarter round. Remember the quarter round.
So to start it off, my pissed offness, he was like pointing at something when I'm like shoveling around the house. He turns around and I raise the shovel above my head and I slam it right next to his foot like as hard as I can, like scaring him, like I'm gonna beat him in the fucking head with the shovel.
So you're deliberately scaring an old man like an old cowboy
like a psychotic,
would shoot at another cowboy's feet.
Yeah.
Dance, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, essentially, yeah.
So
and as soon as it hit, he bounced and turned around. He's like, oh,
yeah.
And I just look at him. I don't say sorry. Nothing. I just look at him.
Business.
Yeah, I'm fucking mad.
What are you?
So the client.
Villain?
I don't know.
The guy who's paying this construction company.
My grandfather to do all this work. Yes.
You're embarrassing the Petrozelli name.
Yeah, I know. That's why I felt bad for it afterward. So that's the first thing that happened. He left, I don't know, 20,
So you intimidated a poor old man until he pissed his pants and left the job site.
I feel like you shovel slam us a lot.
Shovel slam.
With our business, I get a lot of complaints and
a lot of shovel slamming.
So where we were was out, I don't even know what the city was, but it was like northeast of Fort Myers. So it was in the middle of like bumfuck Florida. A lot of like trailers around and stuff like that. So I walk into the urinal, my typical fuck this place, put the top down, a huge shit right on top of the toilet seat. I was huge shit. Huge shit.
Like, how do you? I don't even know how you shit on the top of the toilet seat. By the way, the UPS man just walked in. He had a horrified look at his face.
Sorry.
I'm really embarrassed. That's a nice man. I like that man.
What is that big ass box?
I don't know. I have no idea what it is. It's like could be anything.
Remy, go open that up and see. If it's white powder, I'm jumping out the window.
Joking. We'll do
damn! It's more Manscaped products for you guys. There you go.
And that big of a box.
Yes, a big trimmer. Good prop.
So I did something. This is kind of gross. That I took some toilet paper. I didn't use my hands. I'm not that much of an animal.
Now, was this at the construction site porta potty?
This is at the construction site porta potty. Yep.
So you shit on the seat.
On the seat. And now it isn't a good coily. There's just laying everywhere.
Coily.
Now you realize.
Usually I can circle my butt and make an artistic thing out of it. But I didn't.
Write down a good coily.
The only people that hurts is your grandfather and you and the other workers that are.
That's the thing that I found out later.
As a man sitting in front of you, that has nobody left. All my grandparents are gone, and you would do this to your grandfather, your poor, sweet, little Italian grandfather. Your poor grandmother, you kicked the door in on her while she was shitting. Your grandfather, you're shitting on the seat of the toilet.
And his face when I went back to his horrible. I get to that part, but
boy! I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm riffing. I didn't.
Yeah, that's okay.
I realize you're upset at the old man, but
you're hurting your grandfather.
I'm upset at the whole construction site area. I just hate everything. I hate when I get in my red zone, I get pissed.
Red zone.
I take toilet paper.
So when JC pisses you off, do you shit on the seat in the house?
No, I don't. I've since tamed way down.
Okay, all right.
My testosterone went.
Oh no, you got to bring that back up. I'm on the tee now.
How can your testosterone be small? You're super muscular.
I don't know.
Your beard.
Because my diet is fucking pristine. What I put in my body is good.
He grew that beard in a week.
No,
it was like
it's been since November, December.
I have noticed you looked a little more skinny than you used to. I'm just saying.
Shut up.
I was
You
going
used
to
to
say
be
look a little
bulkier.
more droopy, like Brady's body.
I'm the
just-
same
I'm
way,
joking,
205.
I'm joking.
I
You look fine.
when I see the Liver King, I'm like, that's what a man should look like.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it gets
His muscles are
that
big.
guy fucks.
So I take a piece of toilet paper, put it around my finger, scoop up some crap, right on
How
the wall,
much? How much?
enough to write trailer trash and shit.
You wrote the words trailer
I
trash?
wrote the words trailer trash on the side of the whole inside of the whole urinal with shit smear.
Hold on.
like
I
really
support
good.
that. I
That's
support-
funny.
Like
Thanks. See, Ribby's on board.
okay,
too.
good. So
Again, who is this meant to hurt?
The little old man.
the man, because he's buying a house out in the middle of nowhere, and it's trashy
The little old
shithole.
man. The little old man that he did the
Yeah,
thing to scare.
but that little-
That's the trailer trash he was trying to
Exactly.
Right.
But
Yes.
that little man is not using the porta potty. That's
But
for the
he'll
construction
he'll
workers.
hear about it and he'll be like, maybe I
it'll
am
get back
trailer.
to him. It'll get back to
Maybe
him.
I'm bullying him to
Yeah.
get his potential in life to not be trailer trash.
If the contractor tells me, like, hey, you remember, like, the porta potty.
Hey, Petrozelli's company, they wrote trailer trash in the toilet because they're crazy about you.
If a contractor told me, like, hey, the porta potty we put there for our own workers, one of our own workers smeared shit all over the inside. And I'm like, well, that sucks to be
Yeah,
you.
that's because they're all unfortunate weirdos.
I don't know why you'd even tell me that, because first, I don't care. Second, it's your
You wouldn't want to
you're
hear
a bad
that.
employee.
I would want to hear that.
No, I don't.
I like a little good. I like a little sight gossip. I like a little sight gossip.
And it makes me question
you
hiring
hired,
you.
yeah.
You like
Yeah.
why? Like so.
Was he like, it's my grandson? Was he like real Italian? Your grandpa?
he had some words that he was kind of like had the Italian slang.
Oh,
to
I
it,
know
but
the
it wasn't.
ones.
It wasn't
Yeah,
the
the ones
N-word.
where black people. Yeah, yeah. I know. I don't know what they are, but
Yeah.
Italians have them. I've heard
yeah,
them.
unfortunately, I've heard
Yeah,
that
they're in
before.
movies.
so
know?
you smear trailer trash in your own
Trailer
shit.
trash. And then
Do you tell anybody, like your uncle?
no.
or-
I didn't want
So
anybody
you have to
knowing
keep this one like a dead secret.
on the deal. But they
Yeah.
did know about the next thing I did. So
Wait, there was a part 3. So part 1 was shovel intimidation. Part 2 was writing a horrible
shitting on the toilet and then writing.
and
the
then
trailer
writing it. And then here's part 3.
The whole that when they found someone obviously saw that someone smeared shit over.
Yeah,
everywhere,
yeah.
And then
Is that
someone-
part of the story?
That's the end of the story.
Okay,
keep
slow
going,
down
keep
there,
going.
cowboy.
Sorry.
Well, yeah, and then so the next part, we're having lunch. We always sit on top of the bricks inside the house.
What
know.
are you eating?
The AC was done. Hard-boiled eggs. So I had hard-boiled eggs.
the predators, bro.
And at that time, I think I was eating the ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles?
But I don't cook them. I just break it in half and put tuna fish on top and ate it like a crispy.
The
sandwich.
crunchy part?
The crunchy part.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah,
good,
yeah,
actually. I'll take that any day, man.
But that's how I was. That's why I was
You know what?
245
You guys
pounds.
can have the show. That is horrible.
But you put the seasoning pack. You sprinkle the
That's
seasoning
not-
pack on
that's
top of the
all
tuna.
Okay,
fish.
I put a singing pack on the tuna, and
That's what I did.
I mix it in.
Oh, I don't mix it. So tuna on top of the
my
hard
God.
cracker.
Make a note, Remy is
Sprinkle-
have to eat the same.
Yeah, BFF. Best friends forever.
I
That shows
don't do
me a
that
lot.
anymore.
Yeah, it really does.
That actually makes my world make sense. It's all right.
It really does.
So anyway, I ate that, but the hard-boiled eggs, I had 3 or 4 of them, crushed them up. Like I said, it was like a shell on the inside, but the AC was done. Some of the things were done. Took the hard-boiled eggs, tossed it as far back as I could in the AC vent.
Dude, it's a brand new construction, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure in about like 2-3 months, when they cook everything up and
Take that, trailer trash.
that fucking old asshole
me eggs
is
forever.
going to be sitting there wondering what the rotten smell is in his house and never think to take shit apart.
probably Shovel Man.
Also, the trailer trash is that?
Yeah,
meant
you could have
for-
gone worse.
Well, that
You wrote something worse, didn't you?
an
No, I
old
wrote
man
trailer trash.
hiring
I
a
was-
contractor to build his house isn't trailer trash. The whole point is
Wow.
you can only afford a trailer.
But it was like a trailer. It was a shitty house in the middle of a bunch of. I said it was in the middle of.
And
like,
you just
shit.
hated it.
I just hated it. It was fucking gross to me.
And
so
you threw all
some
the eggs
in there.
on there.
So
Hide an egg.
okay, so that was like lunchtime. They didn't do anything else the whole rest. I don't think that I can remember. This was a while ago. It was 20-ish, 1920. So went back. So at the end of the day, we all go back to the big, my home base, and my grandfather's. I just thought of this. He's inside of a trailer. We have a trailer.
Call me and said there's somebody right the
Yeah.
trash on the wall in a poo.
So we go inside the trailer that we have for the office.
Why you writing with your own diarrhea? Why you writing?
And me and my uncle and the other guy, we walk in, and my grandfather has his head down.
Disappointment. Ultimate disappointment.
Looking at some papers. He slowly turns around, and it looks like he was like really like not mad, but like sad, crying.
You're not my son. You're not my son.
He goes, "Do you
You break my heart. You break my heart. You take a poo-poo. And you take the fingers. And you ride on the underwear. And you besmirch it in Is that good? Is that what he did?
That was pretty good. It was a little less Italian stuff. A little less racist.
I want to go all
Bitches having construction.
Hey!
He's like, you guys know, he's more New York Italian. You guys know anything about any sort of...
Hey, does anybody know anything about anybody, riding with the turds?
Right
here. With the turds?
You don't really have to be Sherlock Holmes to realize that it's the only porta potty on the construction site.
Yeah.
No one wandered in from the neighborhood.
Yeah, there's only one knucklehead that works.
It wasn't only that. It was when we said no. They didn't know about it. They looked right at me, and I was like, no, I have no idea. I lied. Of course, no, I lied. I was scared. I felt bad. And then he goes,
no, it wasn't me, Grandpa.
There was no other construction worker. We're the only construction company
of your family
working on that house.
You're Poop-a-Fredo.
It was an owner-builder, and he did it himself. We were the only ones he hired to do, like, the excavating.
So you tried to frame somebody else for it?
No, there was no other person but us. It could have been, but I lied and said no, and he goes... He's put his head down and turned away. Didn't say anything like that. He just extremely disappointed.
I know you break my heart. I cannot leave the company to you. I can't do it. You jump around. You do the gay MMA. You do the gay karate. I don't say nothing. I say nothing. You chop in the
No, he was really proud of
you.
me for doing all that stuff. He had pictures of me playing football up on in the
football,
trailer
not
office.
karate. It's
He
different.
ripped him down.
He ripped them all down.
He paid for that porta potty.
He ripped them all down.
You shit in the things he paid for. You shit on his business.
You shit on your grandpa's business.
Like, imagine if one of your karate instructors, Javier.
What if Javier went into your dojo bathroom and wrote, let's see, what can he write? He wrote like
Karate trash.
And what if he wrote Big Dominion or something? What if he wrote dyes his beard?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll be pissed. I would say that's
you challenge him to a parking lot fight.
I feel like a sweep the leg, John. Something you do, some karate get bun. Anyway,
shave the beard, Johnny.
you would be like, why would you do this? This is my business. I hired you. Anyway.
Yeah, well, that's why I said I felt bad for this one. I was wrong.
And you never admitted it?
I should have done it to him, not my grandfather's property.
Is your grandfather around?
No, he passed away.
And were you ever able to make it right?
No, I never told him.
Even on his deathbed, you didn't hold his hand. You should have held his hand.
I was in Japan.
Oh my God, like Mark Maro's story.
This is a weird story of my grandfather, actually, how connected I was to him and how close I was to him, because I loved him, of course. I was fighting in Japan. This was after the Bob Sapp fight. This was my next K1 fight in Japan. I went out there, and literally the hour that I was fighting, he was passing away in the hospital. And I didn't know this, obviously, when I was fighting. I had no clue. My family didn't tell me they went to the hospital because they didn't want to worry me when I was in Japan fighting. I've never felt more like sucked, like I didn't have like anything, like I just felt like drained, like I didn't know how to fight. Like it was an awful fight. If you watch the fight, I looked like shit. And I just had this overwhelming feeling of like just coldness on me the whole fight. It was just very, very fucking weird. And I don't believe in any of that shit.
So
you know
not,
me.
Not only did you write shit.
I'm trying to get serious. I'm trying to get serious.
You're using him as an excuse to losing your fight.
Oh my God.
That's fucked up.
This motherfucker's so cold.
No, I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm saying something weird happened where I did feel something. And then as soon as I flew back home, my brother was waiting for him. Was like, what are you doing here? He didn't live in Orlando at the time. He told me my grandfather passed away that night at that time that I was actually fighting in Japan. Like, and I was like,
it's crazy.
God.
That was fucked up. So anyway, yeah.
I want to make so many jokes.
So
So beat me up. I have so many jokes.
It's been a while, so time heals. So.
Not that you don't believe in anything supernatural.
I don't believe.
Okay, well then it's not true. That's the feeling you had. Was it right?
You ate something bad. And
Probably. You're right. You're
Heart attack.
right. But it's
Damn
still,
tuna.
It was a coincidence. Yeah, I was having tuna with ramen.
It's just in retrospect, you start putting things together. Our human brains. Do
I
that.
know. It does
All
that.
nonsense.
It's just funny. I can understand how people would believe in something weird like that. Because
you start
stuff
connecting stuff because you want to connect.
Yeah.
So that's the bad song.
Whoa, that was a bad one.
Oh.
So the good one actually just happened a few days ago. And
Yes, I love fresh ones because they really don't matter. It's like, I helped an old man use his debit card at Citgo.
So I was in the morning, every morning, I wake up, open the front door, let Rocky run out and play inside, and my kitchen is like right in front of my front door, so I get some nice fresh air blowing in. I could see outside. have the burner on, cooking my eggs. All of a sudden I hear, "Yo, sir, excuse me, sir." And I turn around and look, and Rocky's jumping all over some dude walking in my gate. I'm like, dude, you just walk. Like, if there's a dog there, usually they like try to get your attention. They see me before you walk in a gate or whatever. Anyway, that wasn't a big deal. He had some balls walking in with a dog.
Wow.
Yeah. Normally, if people see a dog, they'll wait.
Yeah, they'll wait.
I don't know me. I'm like, hey, a dog, let's go.
So, how are you guys? Do people ever come to your house, like door-to-door salesmen?
Yeah.
And stuff like that?
I go to my balcony so I can stand over them, and I'm like, hello. And then I make them talk up to me.
So the first thing, like, if somebody comes to my door, I'm like, "Hey, are you Mormon?" No, sorry, I'm not interested. Take care. Please walk away.
Nice.
If they are Mormon?
My God.
No, I'm saying if you're Mormon, like, I'm like, "Hey, are you Mormon?" Nope, walk away. No, we're good.
God.
Well, what if
Thank
they're
you.
not? What if they're trying to raise
I'm
money?
like, help, I'm looking for
if
my
they're-
daughter.
If they're raising money, I will hear them out for about like 5 to 10 minutes, and that's the only I'm going to give
Oh my
them.
God, you're
give
just
them
like
5 to 10
Tom,
minutes,
then.
and that's it.
You're
And
just
you're
like Tom. You give them 5 to 10.
Well, I did that, but you don't give them any. You don't go in to give them any money.
Nope.
Well, you don't answer the door.
The door is open. That's the problem. I always have the door
Yeah,
open.
okay,
He
yeah.
saw me.
I never answer the door.
Usually I don't answer. Usually I go on my camera and like, yeah, hello, what do you want? Sorry, no, and they hear it and they just walk away.
Yeah.
So
But I
this
wasn't
guy-
able to do that.
So Rocky's hopping around,
Rocky's hopping around.
being a cute pup. Because
He comes up to me, and this guy is super, super polite. But I notice he's got a collar, with a tie and stuff like that. But creeping out from the collar is these crazy ass skull flame tattoos.
Oh,
Like,
goddamn drug addict!
Oh, my
Goddamn,
God,
get him! Lock him up!
not that tattoos are wrong or anything like that, but
I
can
do.
judge a little bit. But I can kind of tell, like, okay, you had at least a crazy.
Tattoos are
Couple years.
they're either for the most hardened criminals or for the weakest people like me.
Yeah, and he started out by saying, "I was a troubled youth. I grew up in the inner city. I was sentenced to 5 years and this and that." I'm like, oh, so I was feeling bad. I'm like, okay, and then you're trying to do something good. That's
You're also
good.
hearing him out, which is really nice.
I am hearing him out, and I'm in the back of my head though. It's like a battle going. Should I just tell this guy get fucking lost and be rude? But I can't do. I'm never like that, and I can't do that. I have to be polite and nice to him because what if he is?
So
telling
you were
the truth?
feeling your inner Tom a little bit. This is like, right?
I was going
Like if this
teetering.
guy truth be told, if this guy rings the doorbell and you happen to answer it, which I know you don't, but if you did, he's got you.
I am forced to
He's gotcha.
listen, and I will try. I will wish that I have like some $20 or some bills in my wallet, so
Yeah.
I could just pay him to leave.
That's what I was hoping.
because
but I don't
it's the
carry
easiest
cash.
thing. I'm like, here's the $20.
Are you the same
Thank
way
you.
with the homeless people that now they walk in traffic? Are you the same way when they walk up to your window and they're basically staring into your window? They're like,
I'm on the phone when that
looking
happens.
into your window.
For whatever
Oh
reason?
man, I had a bad one yesterday. The guy was like staring at me, so I just started staring at him.
When I'm in my car and the windows are up, it's like even though they can see through,
Yeah, they
it's
can
somehow
see.
I feel like I'm in a bubble, and therefore I can ignore. I just look straight, or I look at my phone. That's another thing. I look at my phone and then I pretend like I don't see him walking by.
That's why I'm glad my windows are tinted so dark you can't see him.
So this guy's just spilling his guts.
spilling
about,
his guts.
Like, hey,
talking about-
man.
then he's like, "So
What
what
does
do
he
you
want?
So what do you do, sir?" He didn't get to. I was trying to ask him like, "What do you want?" But he kept asking about me. He's like, "Well, what do you do, sir?" I'm like, "Well, I own a couple gyms in the area." He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "That's great. Do you teach kids?" And then I had to get into the kids thing. He's like, "Oh well, I have 2 kids as well." And he has a lanyard on, not a badge of saying where he works, but it's literally just a picture of his 2 kids.
I have that.
And
You
he-
guys
but
don't
he's
have
wearing it
that?
as a lanyard.
Oh, I wear my kid lanyard all the time.
And he's
Well,
like,
it's part
"Oh,
of his pitch.
yeah, I know."
Yeah, he's like, these are my kids. They put a lanyard on me so I don't forget who they are.
Yeah, and he pulls it out and he's like, "I'm trying to help support them and have a better life than I did, and I'm trying to raise money for underprivileged."
Was the lanyard tattered?
Oh, it was. It looked like.
Yeah, I hate a tattered lanyard.
But he was dressed nice. He was in nice slacks.
Yeah,
tie,
no, I'm just
coat
saying a
shirt.
lot of times the material they give you, they laminate it to give it like some like.
Yeah, and the paperwork that he gave me, it looked like he ripped out of a magazine. He
Yeah,
just went
I
to
hate
Office
it.
Depot and
That's the
laminated it.
saddest part. Is it when it, like you see the lanyard, you see the.
Are any of those
No.
things legit?
No, not
Okay,
one.
yeah.
And then I didn't know. And then in my head, I'm like, this could because I'm a
Wait,
sucker
you know what?
sometimes.
The first one was.
Okay, yeah,
And then somebody saw that, and then they were like, let's scam it out.
yeah, it can't be real.
So he's asking me, he's like, "Oh, well, maybe I can get my kids in your karate." So I was like, "Okay, maybe I can actually
For
sell.
free.
Maybe I actually sell.
I think you're now trying to.
Maybe I can sell this guy." Maybe I can sell.
This is you. You
I
would
can
do
get
that.
business.
You'd be like, maybe I can flip it on him. All right. I'll see you
Let me get
raccoon
my
in the box.
pamphlet. You come out here like
And yeah, so he did
free
ask.
Sunday.
You need to get kids. Little gorilla program, great, best for little with no experience.
So he hands
My
me this.
girlfriend teaches. She hot.
He hands me this folder with about 4 or 5 laminated things that look like they're from different magazines, different things. He's like, "What I'm trying to do is sell each of these
Trying to get
magazines."
a Lamborghini.
they go to any one of these organizations. You can send the magazines to any one of these organizations, or they can go to you, and they go by credits. This magazine's 5 credits. This magazine's 6 credits. I said. I thought that too, and I was
You said that to him?
I didn't say it. I thought my head was like, nobody reads magazines. I'm like, what do you mean magazines?
People don't even read magazines on their tablets.
So he's like, what?
Magazines are dead.
And then he hands me a list of like 50 neighbors that signed and dated it. Like it looks like new signatures. I'm like, where could he have gotten these? Then I was thinking, well, maybe this is real. I'm like, are these my neighbors' names?
And I'm looking. Idiot. Yeah, where can he get these signatures?
But they're all different.
I mean, they're all legit. Like it says right here, Adolf Hitler, Donald Duck.
And I was looking for names.
There's someone signed it. It's got to be real.
Now. It's real stuff. Mickey Mouse, Duke Nukem. These are all real. You're getting tricked by
Listen, I know. I've been tricked by this before. And it's not even I'm tricked. I'm like, what can I do to get this person to leave?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I was about to say, usually I say sometimes like, oh, I got to go teach real fast. I don't have time for this. Can I just Venmo or Zelle you something or something?
Why don't you send
and
Tracy?
I don't know why I didn't do it. She was at work and I was.
Oh, dude, you got to learn my ways. You got to just, I go, Andrea. I'm like, hello.
And then afterwards, after the story, I started thinking if there's like, oh, this isn't my house. I'm just staying here for a couple of days.
You started lying to the guy?
No, I didn't. I was thinking of doing that after. That next
so what'd
time.
you do?
So anyway, he hands me all these. He hands me things. He's like, so I'm trying to do. Your last neighbor did 7 magazines.
Your
at
last
4
neighbor
credits
did the
each.
Seven magazines?
Yeah.
Who the fuck needs 7 magazines?
It's a different organization.
His neighbor did. He got a good housekeeping.
And
He
he's
got a
like-
Men's Health. He got a Maxim.
Yeah, the Maxim was on there. Maxim was one
he
of
got
the
Maxim.
Is Maxim still
No,
around?
it's not around, but it's on the thing.
It's on the thing.
He got a Wii magazine,
a sailboat, mini-
FHM,
mini truck.
mini truck. Yeah, that's
So
a
I'm
good
still
one.
there's like 20% of me that's like
Guns and
this
ammo?
might be real, so let's just keep going with this. And then the other 80% I was like, I'm getting
Women's
fucking
Health
scammed. And I
for
know
Tracy.
it. So he hands me. He's like, this neighbor did this. He did 7. So my goal for you is to do 9. Will you do 9? And this is the 9.
9
thing.
magazines. 9? I could read 9 magazines in all of 2023.
He's like, pick 9 magazines. You can send them to any one of these organizations you want. Which ones you
Well,
want to do?
I'm going to send.
I'm like, and I go-
they want me to send Stuff magazine to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
He's like, which foundation do you like? He's like, do you like this? And I saw one that said St. Jude Kids, and I wanted them to feel bad. So I was like, in case this is a scam, I want him to feel bad. So I said, you know what? My brother has cancer, and I want to make these kids with cancer feel better. So I'm going to send the magazines to them. So if it is fake, he's going to be like, oh fuck, yeah, that's.
I don't think he will. No, if it
he
is
won't.
fake, he'll just be like, God damn, figured me out. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
There's no.
That's how he talks.
I like where you're going.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of some kids sitting in their cancer ward and they're like, literally, it's the worst day of their life. And then the nurse is like, hey, mail called. Somebody sent you Maxim magazine. It's the swimsuit edition. That'd be dope.
That would be
Also,
awesome.
do you understand the atrocities this gentleman has seen, like in his life? You know, if he, you know,
selling magazines is a lot better than being butt fucked in prison.
Well, that doesn't happen as much.
It does if you want it to.
Yeah, if you wanted to, but it's not.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
The
shankings.
Just
Don't drop the
drugs.
soap.
Just the fact that
Well said, Remy.
you're doing this, I don't think you feel bad about the customers you're scamming him.
I agree. Because he went to Lake Eola. He's like, he did start out by saying, I went in Lake Eola Heights, this well-off neighbor. He did say well-off, so I think he obviously picked Lake Eola thinking that there were some like richer families there. Anyway, he's like 9.
This is the good, because this is real sad.
Wait, just wait.
Okay, all right, I'm waiting.
Well, it is good of what I end up doing, kind of.
Okay.
I think, unless I just gave him drug money. I don't fucking know. so he goes, I'm like, well, I'm like, before anything, I'm like, what does this cost? I'm like, what does the 7 magazines cost? But he's like, okay, it was a good thing you asked, because you add this, and the thing is, it's a year magazine subscription. So it's 7 magazine subscriptions for 1 year. Blah, that'll be $898. I'm like, I go, who? I literally go, who? And he goes, yeah, I know you're thinking that's a lot for magazines, but let me. I'm like, whoa.
Just let me suck your dick. What was that? I've always wanted the one to be like $800. Or
I thought this was a $10 get off my property type of transaction.
and then you know who you should blame is fucking Rocky. This is all his
Yeah,
fault.
I know. He's
Also,
the one that was all friendly to
even
him.
Yeah,
the fact-
Rocky, if you weren't so cute, he's super cute.
Yeah.
Even the fact that he threw out that number must have meant that he saw Mark. He looked at you like he could have actually got that.
Well, I mean, if you, I'm gonna pay you a compliment. If you look at the shoes you wear, the car, the motorcycle, stuff like that. If I were a scammer and I saw Seth roll up
It's a different, because
He is
in
a
your
target.
neighborhood, it's
You're
just
a
a bunch
target,
of
dude.
old white
Usually
people.
it's older.
Yeah,
Well,
and you're I'm not going to sit here and say you're business, and I'm not going to sit here and say you're rich, but you're certainly not. You don't want for anything.
You're the only,
right?
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm
you're a
comfortable.
good target.
You're the only
a good target.
But I didn't think the age demographic was. I thought they'd be looking at older people for that. But
Well, I mean, but maybe they. What if they looked in? Like, you don't look your age,
I guess. I don't know.
right?
Well, I said he's like,
if
how
he
old are you,
saw
sir?
me,
I did say my age.
yes, a weak little old man.
I did say my age to him because he asked. He's like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 40. He's like, wow. He's like, how do I grow a beard? He did say, how do I grow a beard like
Told
that?
you.
Manscaped.
Then I was like, he
Remy's
kind
a
of
pro.
looped me up a little.
Mark that for the.
So I was like, so I go, tell you what. I'm like, I'll Venmo or Zelle you $50 for this organization or something like that. He's like, well, how about you just do one of the magazines then? And one magazine is.
Well, because the organization is fake.
He's like, well,
I also need your credit card number. That's really the overall point of this. I just want that.
We're kind of dancing around it.
And then he said, one magazine blah, 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 is 107. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay, I'll do
Wow,
one
the
magazine.
deal was really the 9 because it was 800 and something for 9. I feel like that's the deal. Take the 9.
Remy, look up on your phone how much a magazine subscription is currently. I'm like, I have no idea.
They got to be so low. Like, there's no way.
It made me feel
You
shitty.
still got to pay. You still got to pay for the postage, right?
I don't know.
yeah.
Who the fuck subscribes to magazines?
Yeah. So he's like, well, the thing is, we don't take personal checks, but we can do a credit card or Zelle or Cash App. I'm like, I'll Cash App you. I'm like, he's like, here you go. And the thing is like, it's like Darius Johnson 3 is this is Cash App. So it's not the organization. I'm like, so I saw that. I was like, okay. And I did it. And then he's like, and then he was trying to sweep me up some more after I did it. And then he's like, so he's like, where's your studio at? And he's like, you got a business card? I'm like, okay, maybe I can actually get this guy in still to get his kids and get my money back for 1 month of teaching his kids. So
hold on. The fact that you still thought that there was a chance that maybe, first of all, for sure, those kids in the picture of those kids are not his, right? Like it's just some picture.
I don't know.
Who knows?
If he sees them, but maybe I don't know.
Well, who knows if they are or not? I'm just saying they all have. Like they were trained by some other guy about this is how you scam people, and then you use the kids. They go through this, a whole script of things to make the people feel bad.
They do have.
So they give you your money.
I don't want to know.
I think they try to teach you the outs. Right?
All right, so I found it right here. The average cost of online magazine subscriptions is between $10 to $20 a month.
That's online.
Yeah. Remy, I need actual physical magazines sent to you. Sailboat magazine.
I think it's about the same.
Sailboats? Okay.
I think it's about the same because I've got one. Andrea's in the chat room. She can help us. I've got one for Maisie. She's got like Nat Geo Kids or something. And I want to say that's like $9. And then she has highlights. And I think that's 15.
Okay,
like real paper magazines.
A
Yeah.
month?
A month?
A month.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh, so it's about right.
150.
Which still seems pretty expensive. But anyway, so then I started, after he left, I gave him the business card and the flyer for the kids. He left. I went immediately on Lake Eola Heights Facebook page, and I was like, hey, there's this guy coming on. He does this, he's this, he's this. I'm like, is this a scam? Have you guys done this before? And then 3 or 4 people wrote back. They're like, don't talk to him, scam. He's like, I ordered 4 magazines for myself last year, and they never arrived.
I did that too. Okay, I was going to wait till the end of your story. I don't think I've ever talked about this. When I lived at the first studio house, down the road, right by Park Ave CDs.
Yeah.
Kid came around before the original, Raccoon in the Box, which is very much similar to this. Same kid, same sort of scam. And I believe he got me and Andrea at the same time. At the same time, it was also the same time that AT&T Uverse was rolling out.
Right.
So what was that, like 15 years ago, something like that?
Okay.
And they got us both. But that one, we signed up for it. I think we got 2 magazines. They never came. Never came.
So then I thought to myself, you know what? It's probably a good thing I did. Well, unless he's using it for
not a wig.
shitty
Andrea's saying I'm an idiot. Sorry, they're about $35 a month. Or,
What?
a month.
A year.
A year. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's how bad I am at.
So if he really
finances.
was hard off and he needed it more than me, if he uses it for a good thing, if he uses it for drugs and fucked up shit, I'm pissed off. But if he needs it to live and survive, I don't feel bad about it because I helped somebody out that just needed money or something.
See, I always feel better if I'm like, and I don't really do it anymore, but if I've ever given money in traffic, I go the opposite, where I'm like, I hope that guy got a cold beer.
Yeah,
Or I'm like, I hope that guy got like a fix of heroin that blew his mind and he shit his pants so hard.
I hope he does have kids and he actually does get something.
Well,
for
I don't
his
think he
kids or
does, so I hope he had a cold beer.
You know what's better than food? Heroin.
Yeah,
I'm just telling
you know who told me that? Heroin addict.
Yeah. I mean, that is a fact. Also, Crystal tells me all the time, she's like, don't give this guy money or whatever. He's going to buy drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm like, good for him. Like, I'm giving him money because it makes me feel better to give someone money that
It
down on
also
the luck.
gets him out of our face, or
Well,
like, there's other.
Yeah, not $100-something.
But-
I would have gave him $20.
No, but the subscription. I can make the argument that you actually enabled this guy to scam other people, which is actually a bad move. You can look at it as the fact that because if you said no and get out of here, that could have been the breaking point where he's like, well, screw this, I'm done with it. But the fact that you gave him hope that he could get the money from the next guy,
which I like that you did that.
And now we're putting this in the bad category because
it's a story. Good.
It's a double bad.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the stories. That
Okay, it was a
good.
story.
Yeah.
You enabled a scam artist, which is basically
Yeah, you kept him going. You wind him up.
If you were begging for money, then and gave it to him, then that's one thing. But the fact that you should have told him, like, I know this is fake. I'm giving you money because just to get out of here. That's different. The fact that you believed that somehow that the subscription was real.
There was a part of me that did think it was real. Like a little part of me. I was like,
I mean,
maybe.
I guess it could have been. I mean, the chances are no, but there is a possibility.
Listen, I've had bizarre things that I would bet my life that would never happen. Like,
And they happen.
I had this neighbor in Deltona, and it seemed like that she got heavy into drugs, and then she was selling drugs as a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And the radio listener and stuff. Then she was like mowing my lawn at night and stuff, and then coming to the next day and like, hey, they didn't have power or water for a while.
It got real sad.
It was an unfortunate situation.
It got real sad, right?
So one day, I've said the story before, she borrowed $20 because she's like, can I get $20 to float me, whatever, I'll pay you back. And I was like, okay.
I always like,
my
whenever
neighbor.
they say float me, I'm like, what do you float me? You mean you're everything.
And I gave her the $20, and Crystal's like, oh, now she's going to never stop asking you, whatever. And I'm like, whatever.
Or you'll never see her again because she doesn't want to have it there.
right.
True.
That's the old Bronx Tale thing.
Like 4 days later, she knocked on the door and repaid my $20.
Yeah,
I couldn't find it. Fucking,
No shit.
Yeah,
it blew my goddamn
we couldn't
shoes
believe it.
off.
We still can't believe it because it's the only time it's ever happened.
I was like, how? And then I saw like the Volusia County drug enforcement kick the door down.
They bust the door down good.
Then there was something where
Don't forget, I got you that 20.
her husband tried to run her over. This whole thing, like,
he tried to run her down.
but anyway, she
I've
paid it
always
back.
wanted to try and run someone down.
She paid it back.
Oh, God.
Some things like miracles happen.
I've always wanted to run someone down.
Like what if
Like
you're
somebody like that did something bad to me, and then I'm in the car, and I'm like, they're running from me, and they have no way out.
So should I drive around the neighborhood? Because he's probably out doing it today, too. He said he's going to be in the neighborhood. Oh, he did say honk at me if you see me in the neighborhood.
Oh,
so I
that's a
kind of
scam.
want to drive around the neighborhood. And
What are you going
find
to
him.
like, meh?
No, and be like, hey, I know it's bullshit, but
Put your window
Buy your
down
kids
and
some ice cream.
tell him to come get in your car. And then say,
and take him to the dojo?
yeah. What if you started teaching him karate?
Yeah,
So,
You gotta take a
with this
break.
gentleman, does he have like a sign on his bag that says "honk if you see me" or
No,
not
he
at all?
told him that. He told him
Well,
that.
he told me to. He told me.
I always have this idea that if some car was running me down from behind, that I
You'd
could
be able to get out of the way.
Well, I could juke them
Lay
like
flat?
a bull. No, like
You lay flat and go right over you.
where right when I feel the car about to hit me, I juke one way and then jump the other. So
Yeah.
just like a bull, right? Like
Exactly.
Anyway, all right, Seth, you got to get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh,
I got a lot of work to do.
Oh, man.
All right.
sorry.
Good
so
seeing you, buddy.
we'll be back. We'll do some email, voicemail.
Yeah, we got email, voicemail. Might dip into some dump out. The name of the band is The Drowns. The name of the song is The Lost Boys of Suburbia. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time momentarily. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Show at TomandDan.com. If you got an email, because I'm reading them today.
If you're looking to buy a new roof or you think you have roof damage, Secured Roofing and Solar, or if you're looking to get solar for your house, go and talk to them. Our contact is Harold Wise, and Harold's going to be out at all the food truck fiestas.
Yeah, he's out there with Eric. And wherever you see our tent, you'll see the Secured guys.
Yeah, in Sanford. So here's his phone number, 407-420-3018. That's 407-420-3018 or hwise@securedrr.com. give him a call, talk to him. He can help you out with the solar aspect. Or, like I said, if you got some damage on your roof, or maybe your roof's old and
you may not even know you have the damage on your roof.
Yeah, it's free inspection. If you go to securedroofingandsolar.com and fill out the form on the front page, you can get them to come out. They'll get on your roof, they'll inspect it, and let you know if you got any damage, because you may not know.
Well, and then you can go from there. It's kind of like what you did.
Yeah.
I mean, like you had that massive hailstorm blow through.
Yeah.
You didn't know what you had going on up there, but sure enough, when they got up there and inspected it, you had a pretty decent amount of damage.
Yep, and I wouldn't have known because they're the professionals, and they made it easy, and the process was super easy. I know Mo DeWitt, our attorney, used them, and a bunch of other BDMs.
Yeah,
and
a couple other people that I know that have messaged me have used them, and I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to enjoy it. Get a hold of Harold.
Yep, it's securedroofingandsolar.com.
It's pretty, right?
I just got very emotional with this song now.
Yo, wake up.
What are the chances that Manscaped sent us the package when we were doing the show?
It came in as we were talking about it. I know.
So thanks to Manscaped for sending us an entire small refrigerator box of products.
It weighs about 100 pounds, and we have more trimmers. And
Look at this. That's a good Valentine's Day gift, right?
That's a solid go right there, man. And that's
trimmer package.
That's kind of the one that we're kind of showcasing right now. The Lawnmower 4.0. Which pretty much you can use it everywhere. I'm going to, showcase on the neither areas.
Yeah. That's
can't
awesome.
wait to have something a little bit better. I've had something that's been good, but not this good. This is good.
Promo code Tom and Dan.
There you go. A&D.
Before we go into some voicemails and emails,
yes, sir.
You want to hear about my Super Bowl prop bets?
I do want to hear a little bit about that.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Remy was talking to me during the break, and he said he wants to bet on the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Of course,
It can make it more exciting, Remy.
Yeah, because what I want to do is I want to drop $50 on a parlay bet, just to guess the very first commercial that's going to be aired during the Super Bowl.
Okay, I'm sure that's on there, right?
Yes, it is. I happen to know it, too, off the top of my head, because I've been looking at these things every night.
I figured,
there's so many.
Well, I mean, and a lot of people I know will say, like, oh, Tom, no, I mean, like, when you go there, I'm dabbling back in, I'm inching my way back in there, too, because I would like to learn in a very small way how to bet on baseball. And baseball will be here anytime soon.
It's a whole different game, baseball.
It's coming around. So I reactivated everything, and just to come to your defense, when you log in, it loads everything up. Like they want you to bet, so they just throw it up there.
There are thousands of props, and a lot of them you can't bet that much. But 99% of our audience are putting down. What are they betting the most? Like I've got probably $600 total on all these there. And there's some bets that I'm doing, like I got in early. I bet the under when it was 49.5. So but that's when it first came out.
So what would you tell a guy like Remy that wants to throw $50 at just a few parlay or few prop bets?
Stay away from the parlays.
That's what I thought he was going to say. Because I've said that before. It sounds like you're getting your terminology ahead of what you need to do.
Because the parlays are a sucker bet because the odds are horrible, but everybody wants to do that because they want to turn their $50 into $280 or whatever, and that's the only way they can with stringing together a bunch of parlays. But my whole logic of it isn't it better just to come out a winner than have some long shot bet that statistically you're probably going to lose? Like you're going to have a better time at the end of the Super Bowl if you look at your account and you're like, oh, okay, even if you broke even, better than losing.
So what would you do if you were Remy?
Well, okay, speaking of the first commercial bet, which is a horrible bet, because the odds...
You're making him feel good.
It's one of these bets that are... it's a fixed bet. There are people that know about them. Similar to what I was talking to earlier about the national anthem and the length of it. Although I do have something to say about that. But the first commercial being played, there are producers that know the answer to this. And if you look, I know on Bovada, I don't look at all the books. I've got 5 different ones, but on this one,
hello.
What? How you doing, sir?
I can't hear you. Is Daniel there?
This is him.
Hey, Daniel, it's Billy trying to reach you back from your email a couple days
it's
ago.
Billy the phone freak. Billy, we're broadcasting right now. I have to call you back later.
Hold on,
That's what I thought. I saw.
Yeah, we're on
Hold
the
on,
air. This is Billy the phone freak. Anybody ever listen to Ron and Ron? This is Billy the phone freak.
Nice.
He's worked with the Monsters. He's worked with the biggest names in broadcasting. He's a broadcaster himself. He also, don't you do real estate now?
Oh, yes, I'm a realtor. Do stuff in Tampa Bay and Orlando as well. So
Yeah, that's Tom. That was Tom that was talking to you.
Billy, real quick, I don't know if you want to talk on the air or not, but
Billy always hated being on the air. I'm just going to let you know that.
Well,
Like, that's not where he shines.
It's Daniel's fault. He put you up there.
This is my fault. I put it up there because I didn't know. I kind of figured it was Billy, and he's been calling. I didn't want to miss him.
Billy, how'd you get into the getting interview game, or getting interviews for radio shows or people? How the hell did you get into that?
Well, I guess it was starting off as a contest winner during my teen years, becoming friends with many of the radio personalities, including Ron Diaz. So actually, Ron Diaz and I were on the phone the night that John Lennon died, and I passed that information on to him. And one many stories from those early days. And then when Ron and Ron were put together, again, I was able to reach out to different celebrities because I, as a teenager, had the odd hobby of trying to collect famous people's phone numbers.
And he did. So it wasn't just an odd hobby. He tried to. He did. I mean, Billy has been photographed. He is my. I'll say acquaintance because I don't know you that well, Billy. But I'll say that as you are my buddy that has been photographed with more celebrities than anybody I've ever seen. At this point, it would be thousands, right?
A significant amount, and many others that I've certainly spoken to on the phone or interviewed or myself as well. So
yeah. Billy's he's that guy.
But my question is, Billy, like the way I've been doing this for 20 years, let's say, like almost. And the way I've seen it is all the interviews that come through, like any radio station or podcast, the way we do it, it usually comes from a publicist, and it's because that person is promoting either an event in town, a
CD,
book. They're promoting something. So then
a CD, showing my age.
And then the big celebrities, that all comes through. They basically do a press junket where they sit down somewhere in some like satellite facility or whatever, and then they're given and then they're not even doing it, but their publicists and their managers, they just go through
the boring talking points,
East Coast to West Coast, and they hit every major market, and then you do the same interview over and over. Like, it never is reaching out to that celebrity asking to do an interview.
They're reaching out to you.
They have a purpose when it comes to doing interviews, especially big celebrities. So have you gotten into that system, or have you been able to buck the system and go to them directly? That's what I find fascinating.
Well, I mean, there are some celebrities that are friends of mine that I can reach out directly when they have things going on. I mean, Rob Zander from Cheap Trick. I mean, he's friend, and he married our friend Pam Stein, who was a playmate from Tampa Bay, and so we've been friends for 25 plus years.
Yeah, it's a long time that he's known these guys.
So then you just reach out to them and be like, "Hey, do you want to do an interview at this radio show? I can facilitate that," and they'll just do it that way.
Well, sure. Or again, I mean, like I said, Larry the Cable Guy started. Our friend started on the Ron and Ron show, but of course, became a big follower. Had a big following there on radio, on JR and some of the other shows he was on in Orlando.
Yeah.
But now since Larry or Dan has become so big, I could reach out to him directly. But most of the time, I'll still go through his manager Maggie and coordinate stuff through her, because he's just so busy,
Yeah, it's also probably a respectful thing too. And I think did Larry?
I mean, that seemed too big. He's he can't do any radio interviews. Like Larry the Cable Guy is too big to do this shit.
I don't know. Is he too big to do interviews now, Billy?
No, he's not too big. No, he's. I had him do 4 interviews for the show that he did just a few weeks ago.
So see, it's worth the ask. I mean, that just proves to you it's just worth asking about it. Because, by the way, Nikki Glazer was just. We asked about it.
Well, I mean, case in point. I mean, Dan is sold out like his shows in Clearwater and Orlando at the Hard Rock there, the Hard Rock Live.
Yeah.
But Dan is still so humble with all the friends that he has here in Central Florida that he's had the same cell phone number for 20 years because he doesn't want to lose the connection that he has with his buddies,
Yeah, he's an interesting cat, man. That guy's so nice.
I'm just surprised. Like
he was a DIZ guy, right? He started DIZ and then JRR.
He did, yeah.
Well, Ron started on DIZ, and then when with under Bud Paxton's ownership, then when they did the syndication, then it became JR. The Ron, because JRR started with Ron as the first morning show on JRR.
Yeah. Well, by the way, we're talking to Billy the Phone Freak. We didn't know we were going to do this, but it's our friend Billy that I haven't talked to. Man, I haven't talked to you honestly in like 15 years, and I'm sorry that this was the only way to contact me phone wise. But I'll throw my cell phone in an email to you. That way we can.
Daniel could have given your. I
thought I did.
Billy the Phone Freak has Larry the Cable Guy's number.
Well, I'm a private person.
I like how Daniel gives you the show number.
I'm a big celebrity.
Like the number that we promote to listeners.
I don't think I did.
And
No, you did. I have the cell numbers for all of our other radio friends here in Central Florida, but Daniels has eluded me for some time.
I'll give you mine. I'll give you my number. I'm sorry.
Too big for Billy the Phone Freak?
I am a big celebrity in Orlando.
Well, yeah, Larry the Cable Guy.
I'm very large.
He knows Mike Tyson.
I'm the smaller, weaker Larry the Cable Guy. Like a little bit weaker.
Sorry to...
Well, you're on your way up. Let's put it that way.
Yes, yes, exactly. Well, Billy, I'll call you.
You're doing your humble beginnings in Central Florida, then obviously we'll look forward to your 6 million plus.
Yeah, I'm going to break out at 46. I'm just starting my career. I'm just starting. Well, I'll call you. Maybe not this afternoon, but maybe Monday. Is that cool?
Oh, sure, yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's too good to call you back.
Well, I got a family. I got stuff I want to do. I got like some hobbies.
Billy, I see him sitting in here after drinking. He doesn't
I'll just be sitting and drinking.
Yeah, he's not doing nothing. His family, Maisie's dancing till 8:30 at night.
What do you expect for me to do? When she's dancing at 8:30, I have to sit around and drink.
Well, I'm saying you got plenty of time to call Billy. You don't have to wait till Monday.
I'll call you after my. I'll call you Monday.
Okay, well, that'd be fine. Yeah, and it's nice to hear that nothing has changed over the years.
I'll talk to you soon, man. Be good, Billy. Okay, that's
wow, Billy the Freak on the phone.
Billy
Dang.
the Phone Freak.
He knows a lot of people from.
But I like Billy. I like you just calling him Billy the Freak, and he knows a lot of people from. What did you say?
It's actually harder the way you said it.
Cheap Trick. Yeah, I like just calling him Billy the Freak.
Anyway, avocados from Mexico is the first commercial. That's what the bet is on at least Bovada. And going back to my point, the fact that people are, you could tell almost like what the right answer is because the juice keeps, the odds keep getting bet up on one side or the other. So as you check it, you see that yes, avocados from Mexico will be the first commercial run. Is the odds keep getting more like 160 minus
the
165?
More it tightens up, the more you know.
That's the theory.
Can they create a different way to talk about betting where you don't have to sound stupid when you say things like the juice and stuff? Can they just use normal terms to not make it sound...
odds.
Well, because like the juice, and I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying that I think that more people would be on board with gambling if they'd like take some of the slang and make it sound less like gross. Like when you say stuff like that.
How gross though?
Well, no, it sounds illegal. It's like my point. My point is like when you use slang like that, it's like again with medical marijuana. If you're going to call it grass, or if you're going to call it like the devil's lettuce, it sounds
sticky. I mean, that's another term for it too. So
it sounds bad. Do you see what I'm saying?
So I do. It's just these are the terms of the industry.
But they can't change it. What's the difference in saying like? The odds, the juice, juice is the odds.
No,
why not just say not you? No, I'm saying like everybody in gambling world. Why not just if you want to make it mainstream? Do mainstream people say the juice?
Well, the juice is technically, I think, the interest. If you owe a bookie or whatever, like the interest compounds, is
gotcha.
the odds. Anyway, what I'm saying is these predetermined like people know what's going to happen. Like people know what the first commercial is going to be. It's already in the production script, the way they run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's already set. So chances are when you see those and you see like it's really, the odds are really high on the yes, that's probably what it's going to be.
Right.
Same thing with the national anthem bet. Although I got an email from a BDM that said that he put out this TikTok video talking about the last, I don't know, dozen or so national anthem singers. Like you could tell if they're going to go over or under by their race, and all the white singers have gone under and the black singers gone over.
Well, I mean, culturally, you could make an argument that stylistically, R&B music lends itself to more runs than traditional rock and roll and or country.
Yeah, I think
so. That's a pretty decent bet.
Although it's counter, it's against my theory of you could tell which one's the right answer by looking at the odds of the bet.
Well, Chris Stapleton though is a very soulful white singer, right? He can do runs. So he's not the type of white singer that can't. He can sing like a black singer, is my point.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So
it's minus 165, at least on Bovada right now. That the over of 2 minutes.
I still
7
don't
seconds.
think he's going to go over. I don't see him like.
Well, it's plus money on the under. So if you think he's going to go under, although like I said, it has gone up steadily. So that tells me that people know.
Yeah. Have we seen him do it before? Has anybody done that research? Because I haven't even done the research. But I would imagine, has he done it with a band? Has he done it solo?
You wouldn't believe. Like within the gambling community, like people deep dive this shit. There's Reddit pages. Like there are people that have like gone back and
that's the most popular one, right? The national anthem one.
That's the most popular one in the media.
Yeah,
although
I like that one.
Again, they don't. I'm not even touching that because of this BDM and his whole theory about the white and black. So based on that theory, he should go under. But all the money is coming on the over. I like these bets.
Okay, give me the ones you like.
Okay, this is a Andy Reid special, and I've talked about this a little bit. But will the words burger or cheeseburger be said by Andy Reid during the post-game interview of the Super Bowl? I'm betting no at minus 210. Okay,
there you go.
I don't think, even though this whole cheeseburger thing with Andy Reid, I'm going
to be a lot. It's chummed up a little bit, right?
I'm going off of logic. So first, if they lose, he ain't going to say it, right? Because like
and there's a good possibility they lose.
Well, it's based on the spread.
Yeah.
It's, Eagles minus 1.5 right now. It hasn't changed in a while, so it's pretty much a toss up, right?
You writing this down, Remy?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm writing down for you guys.
This is the stuff you wanted to bet your 50, so listen to him.
Oh, I'm listening.
And I think even if they win, I don't think he says cheeseburger in the post game interview. I just don't think he says it.
He's not a fool. You know what I mean? Like, he knows that this is going on, right? Or no?
They they ask him they've asked him in the interviews, like, what's your favorite cheeseburger? And they ask him a bunch about food, and they ask him about their favorite rappers.
God, damn, that's mean. I mean, the rapper thing's okay, but the food thing, you're just doing that because I'm fat, right?
You're just pushing it to that limit. You're like, what are you eating now? We eat some cheeseburgers, you got tacos. What's next on the list?
Another thing this is a direct result of the fact that they do this all the time is, will they show the Andy Reid punt, pass, and kick competition?
I remember you talking about this.
Will they show a photo of that during the broadcast of the Super Bowl? And I'm betting no at minus 135.
Okay.
Just because, and this is my logic with this, it's been fucked out. Like, they've done this so many times.
Yeah. Every year they show it.
And I did some research to see if they've done this in the past, because the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl, this is the third time now. And at least with Mahomes. And I'm like, for sure they've maybe done it one of those 2 times prior.
I can't remember, but I do remember them doing it where Andrea and I were watching it together at the house. And I think it was a Super Bowl.
They did it in the playoffs.
Oh my God.
And I just don't, I think, like, we're talking about about the biggest TV production in the United States, right? The most viewed TV thing that the United States has to offer.
Yeah.
And I feel like the production team takes that very serious, and I think that they would, because it's been done so much, that they're not going to do it.
We can be more creative.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And plus, the game is so serious, and there's so much to put in there, and every second is so valuable that I don't know.
Is there a DeMar Hamlin tribute bet?
No, I couldn't find
any of that. Are they going to do because they do a lot of that sort of stuff, right?
You can read through for days about these different prop bets. I like the ones that I like the negative money, or the betting on the favorite, because everybody the public wants to bet the underdogs, right? I like the will there be a touchback on the opening kickoff. Last year, I bet against this because they use a novelty football. They use a ceremonial football for the kickoff.
Really?
In every game, yeah. And it's a weirdo ball.
Why do they have to do that?
They do it for every Super Bowl because I guess it goes to the Hall of Fame.
It's like a game used ball.
Yeah, and or the opening kickoff of every Super Bowl has and it's got the emblem of this year's
all
Super
in
Bowl.
Boston. Yeah.
And I've bet that there will be no touchback last year because there were a bunch of people saying that since it's a weird ball that they can't kick it as far. But my theory being that no one's going to let there be a run back in the opening kickoff of the game, because imagine how deflating that would be if somehow a player ends up running back for a touchdown and now you're down 7. Like, no coach wants that to happen. So I imagine the kickers are practicing kicking these weird balls, right? Like, they have infinite resources.
They get them ahead of time?
Does
anybody know?
They get something like it. These kickers know they have to kick
Give me
this weird
last
ball.
year's version, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I think they definitely do a touchback. That's minus 150. I like Jalen Hurts passing yards under 120 first half only, minus 115. And then I also like that there will be a roughing the passer penalty. That's a plus money, plus 125, only because of Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, and the way they play leads to
they'll be
sacks.
Moving, they'll be holding, they'll be,
Well, sacks lead to roughing the passer,
Indeed.
right? So Eagles got a good pass rush. So does Kansas City, and Jalen Hurts has been sacked so many times this year because of the way he plays, and he's mobile, and that lends people's adrenaline's up.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's a safe bet.
You hit the quarterback a little too hard. They protect Mahomes. I don't know. At plus 125, good odds. I put it more even money. I like those bets.
There you go.
It's a good bet.
Is that Remy?
Great.
What do you think? Does
I
that
like
help?
Yeah, it helped me
Did
a
it help
lot.
a little bit? All right.
All Remy heard, he's going to put some goddamn 5
No,
team
I am not.
a bunch of
He's doing his
parlay
parlay. He's
bullshit.
gonna do his
But
parlay.
there's a question in the Twitch channel from Norm. He asked, "Is there a bet there will be any crypto ads this year?"
There are crypto bets, but it's all, will the price of Bitcoin go up during the Super Bowl? By the way, all those I would bet yes, because they put a bunch of crypto ads during the Super
then
Bowl.
people start buying,
and then it's,
that reflects the price.
Exactly. Like it instantly would go up. Well, even the anticipation that it's going to go up will cause it to go up. But there's
just like any other market or anything else.
Yeah, you can go through tons of them.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Super Bowl.
Same here.
Not at all really about, and this isn't a negative thing, not at all saying that I'm really not excited about halftime. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic because Rihanna is fantastic. But it's just not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something I'm really into. But I'm into the game. I'm going to smoke me up a pork butt. You and I were talking about that this morning. I'm going to get the smoker out for this one and do it right.
I feel like nowadays that it's virtually impossible to have a real stinker Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
Like, they're putting...
She's, like, amazing. So, like, that's the thing, is that it's almost boring to me because I know it's going to be good. Like Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, I'm trying to think of bigger bands, Foo Fighters, U2. You put all those in there, like, it's going to be fine. It's just not something that I'm into.
So I feel like social media has, like, taken away the ability for an artist not to care about something as much as, like, back in, let's say, 80s, 90s, like, if you...
To just go out there and not give a fuck and do, like, a shitty performance and then have people...
Well, you were insulated, right?
Right.
You were.
Well, people would still know it was a bad performance, but they couldn't get on their phone and instantly start telling
Yes.
everybody how drunk you were, or
So if you're,
you fell off the stage.
yeah,
or,
you would read about it maybe like in somewhere later or see some broadcast, but you could basically hide yourself from it, or your entourage could shield you from any sort of bad press or whatever. And now because of that instant feedback, like you are afraid, and then you're going to work harder. I mean, because now these artists put their own money into these things.
Also, you'll take less chances.
Yeah.
I think. Though, that's the negative part, is that I feel like because there's so much positive and real-time, reaction to stuff, to really take a chance or really do something that maybe you want to do that could,
Go
alienate
wrong, yeah.
some people. 50% of people would love it. 50% of people would say this is the most avant-garde bullshit I've ever seen. You're just not going to do it, because why even do that? Just give them the vanilla.
Although, when Beyonce, and there was all that controversy about her dance, people didn't, a bunch of stuffy white people thought that it was too militant.
Oh, well, the girls were just in military outfits.
Yeah,
it was I think they were supposed to be
but it was they were
Black Panthers or something.
People were bitching that it was
that's racist.
Political. They didn't want that or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that. I feel that you could still do because you're going to get some publicity, and it's really a nothing.
She's
but it
also
can start
large
some
enough
shit.
to take the charge too. She could take the chance.
But I'm saying no one's gonna let the Super Bowl plan everything and then pay for it, and then it could be shitty or perceived as shitty, and then you were like, well, they did it. I think remember when The Weeknd, he put in $1 million of his own money, and I think all these artists are putting in their own money, making sure it's awesome.
They're ensuring that it looks great
because it's going to directly reflect them. So it's almost guaranteed now to be a decent show. I mean, it's all subjective, but it's it's going to be an extravaganza.
I think after Janet Jackson, I think after everything that happened, I think after microanalyzing it, I think it would be impossible for them to ever do anything that would be considered, quote, that everyone would say that was bad. That'll never happen again.
Yeah, lackluster.
They'll never do that.
Or it looks like they don't try that hard.
Yeah. Now, Sam said that she's not here, but I'm going to do this in her stead. Since she's not here, I'll say it. She said that she does not think that Britney Spears will come out on stage with Rihanna, but man, I'm telling you, if they really wanted to kill it, they would do that. That doesn't mean anything. I understand that. But I'm just saying that I wish in some way that they would think about these things and actually think about actually trying to make a pop. And maybe they'll get that younger producer that will want to do that, right? Because it's all about who you have in charge pulling the strings. And we all know that the NFL is very conservative, and they lock everything down, and they know exactly what they want there. But man, it would be awesome if they brought Britney Spears out. That'd be amazing.
I would bet heavily against that.
It's not going to happen. But I'm just saying.
She's severely mentally ill.
I like to keep.
Have you seen Britney Spears? She is
there's no news.
insanely mentally ill.
There's new news about her, right? Or something. Something's popping off in Britney land.
First she took down her Twitter, then she took down her Instagram, then she brought them all back up again. So
I don't know any of that.
That's what's going on. But I have a feeling that during Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show, I got a feeling that she may bring out Eminem to the halftime show.
She will not. I will bet against that as well.
He's saying no because he was there last year.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a back-to-back performer making an appearance.
First time for everything.
Yeah, I just don't. I'd bet against it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do any voicemail email here, but we can take a break and come back and do voicemail email and dub them out.
Yes,
if you want to do that. That way we stay on schedule. You got your emails ready to go?
Right here.
All right. Remy's got his emails. We'll go voicemail email. When we return, we'll do mail on mail.
Oh, I also there will be no onside kick. That's minus 275. Just because of what the hive mind bet this line to tells me that it will be a close game, and therefore, usually blowouts warrant onside kicks. I do not think there will be an onside kick, and therefore I like.
So you're thinking no blowout.
No blowout.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Close game.
The name of the band is The Speakeasy. The name of the song is Bright Side. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time right after this. Streamline Mortgage. Our buddies over there, streamlineflorida.com. Brian Zeimel. He's the guy you got to get a hold of if you have anything, any questions or any needs that involve mortgages.
Yep, I saw our buddy BDM Richard on the page say, like, hey, my daughter's looking to buy a house. What's Brian's number again on Streamline? Now, it's listed at streamlineflorida.com, and it's under the Tom and Dan logo.
Yes.
His cell phone number's on there, but I'll give it out to you. It's Brian Zeimel. It's 407-310-7804, 407-310-7804. Text him or call him. Let him know you're a BDM. He's going to treat you with VIP treatment.
Yeah, we'll break the ice. Make sure you let him know. That way, Tom and Dan listener, okay, let's get to this.
And he's going to tell you all the information you need, whether you're looking to buy a house. And I'm telling you, Crystal and Bart, like, business has picked up because I think people have realized, like, you know.
I've been looking at the calendar. Crystal been busy as heck.
Well, they realized, like, okay, it's going to take a minute for interest rates to go down.
Sure.
So I'll buy the house now, and then I'll refi out of it later, right?
Right.
When the interest rates do go down. But housing prices, I mean, Florida is the vacation mecca of the United States. Like, you've seen the Facebook post, like, Florida's red, though the whole other United States is freezing. People see that all over, and then they move here. So house prices are continually going to go up, and maybe your parents need a reverse mortgage, or you want to ask them about that, or just talk to them. Brian Zeimel will just give you all the information.
And then that way they get to keep their home. Because a lot of times I think they get scared and thinking that they may lose it or make a wrong move. Brian can walk you through that and help you out.
Keep them in their house and have them stop making their mortgage payment and have the house start paying them each month. Brian will tell you everything. Just text them or call him. Again, 407-310-7804. It's streamlineflorida.com.
There it is. Welcome back to a mediocre time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
That was Can't Swim. The name of the song is Me versus All Y'all.
Let's do some voicemail email.
All right. The little mail on mail. Let me get this going.
Hey guys, thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail on mail.
Mail on Mail brought to you by thedangerbrain.com. If you're looking for a branding agency, use the branding agency that we have used for over 12 years now, and that's the Danger Brain. They'll help you with your business.
They will indeed.
They've helped many of our clients rebranding, or if you're starting a business, just talk to them.
Pyro Spot, Guardian, who else? The West End's using them now.
Yeah, the West End is and Sanford in general are using the Danger Brain, but go and talk to them. They'll help you out.
I love they have some like really nice new like West End Trading Company logos that they've been kind of like leaking out there, and one of them has like I think it's like an alligator smoking a cigar, and I like that one a lot. I like that a lot. All right, you want to let's start with a voicemail.
Okay,
I'll go into my voicemails here. Because the ones that are uncensored, we have a tendency to like skip those. Let's try this one right here. There you go.
Yep.
Tom, Dan, Sam, BDM Mike.
BDM Kylie.
What is up with these car wash places having strobe lights and flashing lights? Tom, the one by us is right next to Rachel's. Is it maybe a spinoff? Are they trying to compete with Baywash? Anyways,
closed. Baywash closed.
It did close.
They don't even have a competition anymore. What are you talking about?
BDM for life. Love you guys.
That's a good question. I think that... Oh, hold on, Remy. I got your mic off. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
That is good. That's a good question. But here's the thing. Like, I've noticed that a lot lately going to these different car washes. But my favorite car wash to go to is Octopus on Mills and 50 area.
Yeah, Virginia and Mills.
The Virginia Mills, yeah. But the one that this BDM is talking about is... Yeah, I just don't get what the whole concept of having strobe lights and a freaking car wash.
I think I know. Like, I think I figured it out. Car washes are overly like expensive. Like they're too expensive, right? And if you go through there, and if you get the platinum, right? If you go through like a big name car wash and you say, "Give me the platinum," they have to do something to justify you being in
extra
there.
money?
And it's $24, right? So you run the card, you go through. The way that they justify your $24 is when the foam's coming down and everything, there's nothing they can do because forever their model is always going to be foam and water, right? There's nothing, the bristles, the rags that like blah, blah,
Yeah.
So they put the strobe, when they do the hot wax, they put the orange light. When
To
they put
add
the cool,
to the experience?
they're adding to the experience. It's a simple thing that they do, right? So one, like fluorescent light that goes up in there. One light with a gel on it that makes your car look orange. So they say it's the wax lava, right? It's a lava wax.
Yeah.
Like
they're using lighting to
just
enhance
trick your
the
brain
thing. Yeah.
into thinking that you're getting more, but you're not. It's the same old garbage, same old stuff. It's just a trick.
Odd that they use a strobe light though, because there are some people with epilepsy, and you
I heard
feel
that's
like
a
you
myth.
want to.
I think that's a myth with the
Is that a
epilepsy
myth?
people.
Hold on.
Yeah, we know someone with epilepsy.
Yeah, well,
Random carry.
I don't.
Next time he comes in here, I'll just hold a strobe light right in his face. I don't think anything will happen.
Wasn't there like some Japanese cartoon that was causing kids?
It was Pokemon.
And they'd give warnings out when they have like.
I think that's a
flashing
way to
lights.
build hype for your cartoon. I don't believe in any of that. Name one. Give me the name.
I don't know.
Give me the name of one kid that went to the hospital because he was watching Pokemon. The strobes went off and he was like, "Ugh," and then he like freaked out and frothed and barfed everywhere. It
I
doesn't
think
happen.
it triggers.
I don't think it
I'll
happens.
tell you. I'll tell you one better. My friend.
I don't think it's real.
My friend Justin. He actually had one. He actually had a seizure by watching Dragon Ball Z. So
Now you're lying. You're lying.
I'm not lying. I am not lying.
I was about to get mad, and now I'm back to Remy's side.
Justin. Oh, so Justin.
And having a Remy's friend, Dragon Ball Z. I
No,
believe
it
Remy.
was Justin.
I believe everything he says.
It was his friend's name wasn't Dragon Ball Z.
Did he? And what happened? He just triggered a seizure.
So his mom.
You're reading that off of a pad.
No,
Remy.
I am not. So his mom is she was a paramedic. She
of course,
she
it
passed
gets
away.
deeper.
But-
Of course, she's dead, so we
the-
can't ask her if it happened or not.
So this was during a hangout. Like me and my buddies were
Oh,
hanging
of
out
course,
with them.
now you were there. Oh, yeah, now next you were up on the 34th
Dan, I was
floor.
there.
Yeah, next thing you were in the World Trade Center when it fell.
So we were watching Dragon Ball Z. It was at 2:00 in the morning during Toonami on Cartoon Network. And
I remember Toonami.
Please tell me you were like 38.
Hanging out, we eating some Totitos.
So was this when you were a kid?
Yeah, it's when we were a kid. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So
What did you think, you sicko?
Yeah, hold up.
No, I
He
just
thought
wouldn't.
He thought this is like modern day Remy. You're hanging out for a hangout with Justin.
Do you still watch Dragon Ball Z?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore.
He paused. He does. He watches it.
Ruined my point. All right, go ahead.
So during the hangout, we were just in his room watching Dragon Ball Z. We noticed that
Oh my God! Were
friend
you trying to suck his dick, dude?
I was not.
Okay.
He
normally when I go to my friend's room and shut the door, it's like there's one thing only: finger time, blow time.
this was before OnlyFans, but anyway, he.
I don't know what that means.
So he was shaking, like really, like
He's like, I'm so horny, bro. I'm shaking crazy. Suck my dick, man. While we're watching Toonami.
So he was shaking like really vigorously, and I had called his mom. His mom came in his room. She says, "Oh, we need."
What did you do? You're like, hey, he's shaking.
So she called 911. The ambulance came over to his place, and we took him to the hospital.
Oh my
So-
God.
And it was triggered by Dragon Ball Z.
It was triggered by Dragon Ball Z.
Did you finish watching the episode?
Of course I did.
Okay, that's a good.
And there's a warning on it says this may cause seizures. Same thing with these video
Dude,
games.
were you like,
coming
you're an
out.
idiot? The warning came on. You should have known.
I wonder why that happens.
I don't believe in it.
Well, I just heard from Remy.
I mean, I'm not even discounting it. It's a great story. I'm just saying I've never seen somebody do it, so I don't believe in it.
Well, I'm sure it's extremely rare, but the fact that they have the warnings tells me that it's possible. It's just probably super rare. Anyway.
How rare?
I mean,
can we duplicate
Probably-
it? Like, can we activate it? Could we, like we were talking about, would it be possible to, like, find somebody and then, like, shoot them with the strobe and then they start freaking out?
I don't think it happens 100% of the time.
I don't think it happens.
randomly happens if you do have some disorder that could be, lend itself to seizures or whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, the chat room saying I have Miami friend syndrome now, but my point is that like I understand Remy had a story, but I don't know anybody that had this happen. I don't know anybody other than Remy that's had this happen. I don't know anybody that's like, I think it was a thing that was invented, and yet could it possibly happen? And doctors say, yes, this could possibly happen. Yeah, plenty of things could possibly happen, but has it actually happened? And my guess is no, and that they found that out, and then they used that to hype the program by putting it. What hypes your program more to little kids, especially little boys, than putting a warning in front of it saying that if you watch this and you have epilepsy, you're going to have a seizure and die.
Well, they die. It's
or
just like
whatever.
it could
you're going to be like, I'm going to watch
seizure.
it. It sounds more dangerous, right? It's like making it more dangerous.
I feel like along the same lines and logic that we have of why they put colorful lights and strobe lights in car wash, you could do other things to make it more entertaining, right?
The car wash? I mean, like you could hand me an iPod, or an iPad when that has like a movie that's currently in theaters, right?
No, well, that's too much. Everybody's got a phone, right? So, but I feel like what else could you put in there? Because you're right. They got the big spinner and they've got the things that go back and forth or whatever. I wonder if you could put like little hidden Easter eggs.
Like you're in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, I'm just saying,
you got to find all the Johnny Depps.
Like they hide little hidden Easter eggs in there, and then you could spot them, and then I
don't think most people pay attention.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just you're adding, because all they have is like you go pull up to it, and then you go through. Like you could do cheap little things that make it a little more valuable to the customer, especially for kids. Like you bring your kids through there. Look for the Pikachus around. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see myself telling my sons, like, "Hey, there's 5
more lights. Put more lights."
Well, they got the lights. I'm just saying, hide some things in there.
You got an email, Remy?
I do.
All right.
Now, this is part of the Super Bowl. So this is from Mr. J. It's BDMJ. Hello, all. So let's see if I understand this. Super Bowl squares in playing the lottery are bad bets and have horrible odds. However, betting on the length on the national anthem, who will come out with Rihanna at halftime, if the fatty coach will eat a cheeseburger, or if Patrick Mahomes' brother will twerk in booty shorts on TikTok during the Super Bowl. These are good bets with good odds and somehow fun.
God, I feel like this is you reading me an email.
You thought it was
You're better than me. I'm surprised.
I allot myself $40 a week for lottery. I do not buy scratch offs. I play Pick 3, Pick 4, and Fantasy 5. In 2021, I spent $2,000 for the year.
Fantasy, Disney.
And won $47,600 for the year. In 2022, I spent $2,000 for the year and won $7,320 the year. I obviously kept track and document what I spend and what I win for the year. Not sure if Tom keeps track of his debts and credits for his gambling.
So this listener doesn't think he just thinks you just gamble wildly and you don't keep track of everything.
Well, I don't.
I thought you did.
No,
you
it's
told
too
me
hard.
you did.
No, I did a little bit.
You did last year because, like, last year you had a winning. Well, you considered it a winning year, right?
But I didn't keep track of everything. First, this guy has no idea how math works. And what you're describing is impossible. So I'm calling you a liar.
Oh, yeah. Just like I did with Remy in the
Take care.
Tsunami.
Because what you are describing is mathematically impossible.
Can't happen.
You're saying you keep track of how much money you spent on the fucking lotto and then you're coming out ahead?
Yeah.
Impossible.
Okay.
Now, I do believe people win. Like, yes, people win the Powerball, but no matter the amount of money you spend on playing these fucking like pick 3 or pick 6 or whatever the hell, I'm talking state lottery. The odds are so against you that it is impossible to win long term. It's impossible to win long term betting the NFL unless you grind at it and you find minute, tiny edges and you're super disciplined. And yes, the bets I'm describing are better odds than playing the fucking pick 6.
Hell yeah.
And that's statistics.
You hear that? Remy give you a hell yeah. He's on your team.
I do also understand that I'm not a mathematician and I'm not, but I understand understand the odds of, yes, because I'm telling you bets that we could somehow garner an edge off. Like the national anthem length, you could do some research and look at prior
and figure
history.
it out. I think you can get pretty close.
And then, like I even said, look where the money's going on. Look where if the money's being bet on the over, most likely that's because someone within Chris Stapleton's world or that's seen him, that's where that's probably going to be the right bet, right? So that is better odds, and every bet this guy mentioned are better odds than the pick six and the lottery.
Okay,
the lottery. I mean, you could look up the odds, but it's a 1 in 10 million or something. It's like some insane.
It's bad. And no, when you look it up, it'll make you not want to play. Like if you go to the Florida website,
it's impossible.
Yeah, if you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, why was I doing that?
I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about like statistics, and even though, like I said, I'm no mathematician, and it's hard for me to understand.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get and I think I have a good grasp on if something's 1 in a million, what that means. It means zero. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's so small that it might as well be zero. But people can't comprehend it. Like my wife is like, yeah, but someone wins. But I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Because someone wins doesn't change anything.
But
it's still zero.
A lot of people think that what you're saying though is like inherently negative because you're automatically discounting the 1% chance.
It's not even 1%.
Well, whatever. Whatever you're doing it right now. That's my point. That's my point. Is you can't even get past
1% is 1 in 100.
You're doing it again.
Right.
You can't even get past the idea of there even being a chance. Like you're so wired to correct me. I say 1%. You're like no. It is not 1%, sir. It's like. Well, I understand that, but I'm like, for the sake of the argument, you don't even want to believe there's any chance. But unfortunately, you can't speak in actualities when there's still a chance.
Yes.
If there's still a chance, you can't say it's basically zero because then that makes you sound like an idiot because it's not.
Well,
because if you're going to be logical, you can't pick and choose when you're going to be logical. It's either zero or it's not zero. A real logical person would be like, it's either zero. No, there is a chance. Yes, there's a chance.
I'm speaking in finalities because it's the only way to get my point across. Because when you say there's a chance, then people get confused by that and think, oh, well, if there's a chance, but they don't understand their chance is 0.001% or whatever the hell. It's so goddamn small.
Most of the chat room agrees with you. Most of the chat room says, I hate to say this, but Tom is right.
It's just math.
Dan is wrong. I mean, all I'm saying is that you can't speak in finalities if there's still a chance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's true.
If you guys say that's wrong, then that's fair.
You're right.
You can believe that, but I'm just saying I've never been the type of person where there's even a whiff of a chance where if you, well, I mean, I guess you can say that if you want to say that. And yes, you're going to most likely be right. But I don't like saying that because it like when you say it, it's a lie. It's not real.
Well, because it's also mathematically false to say zero chance because that's false. There is a 0.001%. I'm just saying that it is horrible odds that nobody should ever bet in. The lottery
That's fair.
is just a waste of money.
That's totally fair.
And the slot machines are a waste of money. Most every single bet at the casino is a waste of money. The best chance you have is playing blackjack, and that's if you play by the rules. And
Nobody
then
wants to do that.
You're giving yourself maybe a 50-50.
Yeah.
But
it's also not as much fun. It's not as much fun to play blackjack by the rules.
And by the way, I'm taking the fun away. All my goddamn Super Bowl props are not fun. None of them are fun. But I will put money on that I will come out a winner off those bets.
There you go. Does that help at all?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
But here's the thing, though. Like, the only games you guys should be playing in like Vegas or any table game is going to be blackjack and poker because you can win money when you're playing poker.
Goddamn, Remy's right.
He's right.
Because
he's absolutely right. The cards you can actually control things. Yes.
You're also playing against other players, not the house. The house is taking the ring.
He likes you, Remy. He likes you. It's like staring into a mirror.
I thought Remy's a goddamn genius.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, like at least when it comes to betting, he's not wasting his money. It's nice. You know what? It's nice to get a smart person in here. Finally, goddamn get Seth out of here.
I took it as an insult when Remy's wife is like, Tom, you're a lot like Remy.
No, you're a lot like Remy. I mean, a lot. Let's try this one.
Hey, gang, it's Zach from Ohio. Did you hear that an iPhone 1 unopened just sold for $30,000 at auction?
Holy crap.
Shit's fucked up.
Why is that shit fucked up? I mean, like, if you like something, it's no different than a classic car. You know,
Yeah, but iPhone 1?
Yeah, well, I mean, people collect technology just like a car is technology. You know, I mean, you know, a classic car serves you no purpose other than driving you somewhere, right?
Although an iPhone 1 doesn't seem that rare, even it's still in the box. Like, it seems like there are a lot of those in the box floating around, right?
I mean, in the box, like, with its paperwork.
I mean, you may
unused.
even have that somewhere in your
No,
closet.
I don't have. I have an original iPod. I have an original iPod, the gray screen.
The big gray one, about yay big?
Well, it was like, I don't know, about like, 6 inches tall or something, and it's got like the gray screen and the scroll wheel and that like definitive Apple font. You know, before they switched to the amazing Retina displays and the stuff that we have now, there was a definitive, like, sort of an Apple font that you got on all the Macintoshes. If you were like an early Macintosh guy.
Oh,
know?
yeah.
I wasn't. I had an Apple IIc when I was a kid. That's about as far as we went. The only reason I went the Apple route when I was a kid is because my mom was an educator, and Apple products were mostly in, we have an educator here. Apple products mostly in the schools at the time, not so much now. You wouldn't find them in there now.
You would just think that, like, when the iPhone 1 first came out, there were so many mom and pop, like, people that owned, like, T-Mobiles and all these, like, small electronics
Beavers
stores.
and phones and,
I'm saying,
chains of...
You would get shipments of them, and then throughout, like, the entire world, that there would be some people, some of those businesses that shut down and then like put their stuff in a storage unit or something. And there's probably like
new old stocks stashed away somewhere.
Just like piles of in the box iPhone 1s sitting there and being found at all times, right?
That's a good question.
Like, why was this one $33,000? Like, it can't be the only iPhone 1 in the box.
No.
There's got to be thousands and thousands of them.
Yeah, but even at thousands of thousands, what if it's still at 33? Because they're still, in the grand scheme of things, they're still rare. Now, why you would
That's
want
very
it,
rare. That's very rare.
Well, why you would want it, I don't know.
Like some old companies that I used to work for, we carried like old iPhones, old iPads, just to put our software program on that phone, on that iPad.
So you can see if it worked right.
Yeah. So we did it. We had a few that crashed on us, but like, here, take it apart. Let's see what.
Based on that, there's probably a market, but not for a 1 because that's too old.
Right.
Like if you had like a 14 or something like that, I can see there being a market for it because you're going to put your software on there and test it and make sure that you can, still do things. But yeah, like for a 1, it's virtually useless at this point for other than calls and possibly text messages. Your web surfing's going to be severely limited, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it may not even function based on the operating system just being so antiquated. I don't know.
Yeah, someone's buying that for a REIT. There's got to be more to the story. Like, this is.
But see, like, one of the things that we do on the show, like, we always underestimate the fanatics, and there are people that I know of online that will buy an iPhone 1 framed. Like an iPhone 1, like there's a company that takes iPhone 1s, like older ones, and then they'll disassemble it into a shadow box and then sell it to like a piece of art.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, but it's pretty cool. It's one of those things that's like, why would you want that? There's a market for almost everything.
Well, I just found out that, I know we got his email right here, but do you guys see how much Kobe Bryant's jersey sold for at auction? His original Laker jersey that has a number 24 on it. Mm-mm. It sold for $6.8 million at auction. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, sports memorabilia
it's crazy.
Gets insane, especially like someone like Kobe Bryant because of his death and everything. I mean, it just rockets. Everything Kobe Bryant related after he passed just shot up probably 200, 1,000%.
I'm sort of surprised there hasn't been a market for it. Maybe they just locked this down so it would never happen, but I'm surprised that there haven't been like Steve Jobs' original iPhone for sale or something because that is his Laker jersey, right?
That's his,
like if
that's
you
his
were
baby.
if you were a nerd and you were able to get a hold of his personal iPhone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's his Laker jersey. Like and that's a guy that basically, like you're right, Remy, to a point. I mean, it was the last product that Apple delivered with him at the helm that it revolutionized the world. Then since his passing, there's been a lot of criticism that the entire company and their vision, they've lost their way and they've fallen off. But if you could get a hold of his His original iPhone 1.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be or maybe one of his turtlenecks or something.
Think about all the weird shit and the memorabilia that ultra millionaire billionaires have. Because I was listening to something on TikTok the other day that there's like a huge black market of Egyptian, ancient Egyptian mummies and sarcophaguses and
well said. I can't say that.
And then like stuff that they found in the pyramids, and then like billionaires on the black market will buy, and they'll have.
Isn't Egypt the government trying to get it all back too? They're like, oh my god, it's like historical artifacts you guys have.
But a lot of think about how much of this stuff is in just some billionaire sheik's goddamn living room in a glass boxes. I have King Tut's fucking
could be anything.
sarcophagus, and these people have unlimited money, which is crazy to think of too. It's just when money is nothing, it's like you have infinite amounts of it. So then you could have the most crazy shit in your house. You probably don't even look at it.
What's the craziest shit you got in your house?
I have nothing. I have no memorabilia.
The craziest shit I
hanging.
have in my house is I have a piece of pigskin that has a tattoo of, it's a heart with like a dagger through it that Earl funked it. And it's a piece of cured pigskin that has these meat hooks sort of in it, and it's pulling the skin
I've
apart.
seen that,
And then he cured it, and it's like tattooed pigskin cured being pulled by hooks. It's dope. It's so cool. But like that's the craziest thing I have. I don't have anything really of like great value.
Crystal brought out the Louis Armstrong thing.
Yeah! Wow.
And I don't know why. I don't know what made her. I don't know. Like she got fed up. I told her to hide it in the closet.
She put it on the rower. Put it on the seat of the rower.
She brought it out. Then I saw it the other day. I was like, "Why is this thing out again?" I'm like, "People can't see
Did you
this."
mention it to her? Where is it at?
Yeah.
Is it on the bar area again?
Oh, now she got empowered.
Put it in your bedroom.
So
your entire. Have you ever told anybody that your entire house is nothing but African American artifacts?
It's just in the dining room, and
the whole dining room. They call it the African American dining room.
And that's because her great grandmother painted these paintings, and they're up.
Oh, I thought she bought them. Did she paint those?
No, yeah,
that's impressive.
It's not impressive. It looked like a kid painted.
Stop it.
Right.
I don't think we have anything that crazy at our house. So I mean, not again.
No, you don't have any black art, traditional black art.
There's something crazy we have at our house.
Tom's house looks like OJ before he hid all the artifacts.
Oh boy!
Remember when he did that? He hid all the artifacts when they. Okay.
Hey guys, so yeah, not only do I baby talk the crap out of my dogs as much as I can, when I meet dogs in public with their wards, I say hello to the ward first because that's what people expect of you, and then I always address the dog like a normal person. I say, hello dog, how are you? Yeah, talking to dogs is great.
I do that too. I also will be like, hey, if I were meeting Tom and he had a dog, I'd be like, hey, Tom, nice to meet you. I'd be like, and who do we have here? I do that, and you'd be like, well, this is Charlie. And I'd be like, well, hello there, Mr. Charlie. Let me just get you some scratchy.
But you're doing that for their owner,
No,
not for the
I'm
dog.
doing it for Charlie.
Okay,
I'm giving him the
that's
scratches.
crazy part of
Dansby is out of his sleep, and he had to wear this outfit. Andrea was making him wear these surgical pajamas to keep his balls, or as Maisie calls them, his brown balls, because they turn brown after the surgery.
Yeah. Because
it's trauma, bruise up. Yeah, he's got, and she's like, he's had brown balls, and I'm like, yes, he does. And they took off his surgery suit. He's running around crazy now. I can snuggle him good and talk to him. I'm so happy. It's the best. Remy, you got one more email.
I sure do. Got one right here. So this is coming from they did not leave a name, but the subject is ACT witness protection.
Okay.
This would get really weird.
Okay.
Hey guys, Sam, I was wondering, do you think people in the witness protection program who have children ever get to tell their kids the truth about their past? Can they take their kids to Disney or other popular places? Can the kids ever meet their grandparents?
No, they can't.
I mean,
they can't. I don't think you can do that.
There are certain rules, I'm sure, that they tell you to follow as far as I don't think you could have any connection to your former life.
I think you draw a line, right? I think that's the whole idea of the contract is
right.
Like you're opting in, and that past is the past.
Yeah, and if your life is really in danger, although no one keeps secrets about anything, and that's where I don't really believe in most conspiracy theories, because I'm like, no one
gets out there.
Yeah, like, no one can keep secrets. Like, people talk shit, and people get drunk. Like, people tell their families, people tell their spouses, people tell their kids, people tell their friends.
Yeah.
Like, that's how people have been caught for murders for years.
Like we had a listener earlier that his dad was in the Delta Force, and he was talking about his dad would come home and tell him everything. It's like, well, then everything's out there.
And also,
it's all out there.
Think about how many murders have been solved by inmates telling their other bunkmate, the people in the cell with them. They're telling people that are fucking criminals their goddamn secrets. Like, of all people to
you
tell,
gotta tell somebody.
You're sitting there. You're like, I'm going to tell this other guy who's in jail with me my goddamn secrets.
I bet Let me tell you how I killed this guy.
Fully knowing that guy can narc on you to get a lesser sentence. Like, it's advantageous for that guy to tell your secrets for him, and they still tell because they can't keep a fucking secret.
I think that's a human characteristic, right? I think you want to tell people.
Yeah.
Because if it's a good thing, you want to tell people because it's a flex or a brag. If it's a bad thing, you want to tell people because you're clearing your conscience and getting it off your shoulders, right?
People just talk shit, and they end up telling
people like talk. We're social animals, and I know that we don't like to think about that, but that plays, I think, a deep part into what we're doing.
You end up telling people shit you shouldn't have just in conversations by accident.
Yeah,
like you just get to that, like it comes up, and you're like, so I have my doubts about how secretive even people in the witness protection program are.
Yeah.
But maybe if their life is really in danger and they think they could be killed by whoever, that they wouldn't tell their kids.
Well, those are the ones we wouldn't know about, right?
Yeah.
Because there's probably different varying degrees. It's just like you could have a casual witness protection, right?
I feel like a lot of it is their life is not that much in danger, and it's like maybe they've and they narked on someone that
so we're doing this as protocol.
They threatened to kill them, and they're like, this person not going to kill you.
But this person's locked up, or maybe you have a bad. You're not really looking at the level of influence of the person who said they're going to kill you. I mean, they don't have the power they once had, maybe, right? But you still have to do it just in case.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a just-in-case scenario.
And then, there's certain things where if you do testify against someone, the government will use the witness protection as, we'll give you this if you give us this, even though, probably the likelihood of you getting murdered is pretty rare.
So here's a question. They say right here in the email, can they take their kids to Disney or popular places? So
no,
can they take them to Disney or Universal?
I don't know the rules. I think you could live your life as normal. It's just you're having a new identity. So you can go going to Disney is not going to tip the fucking mobsters that want to kill you off. They don't have access.
Ah, shit! Look who's at Disney today.
I think you can live your life. The whole thing is you can't go back and start contacting your friends and family that you left or whatever. But you can go to the water park. What does that matter?
I mean, what would you be?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. They have you scan your thumb. They have you scan your fingers through the through the turnstile. So if they see your fingerprint, they could pull you up on FBI or whatever. No.
The FBI's already taken care of that, right? I would hope that the FBI put your new identity into the system.
Also, the Disney fingerprint stand is not linked to the FBI.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Well,
it's their own.
It's their own. Yeah. But what was your question?
No, I was going to say, what would you want it like right now? You are a podcaster. You work at a certain theme park.
A certain theme park, yeah.
Yeah, and you said you don't like it at all, and he was just trashing it. Oh, my God, if Sam were here. This guy... I'm serious, you were. You were saying he hates it. I won't say which one. He was saying how much he hates it. But my point is, what would you want to do? So you're relocating. Give me your new name and your new occupation.
My name is Jon Bendova, and my new occupation is gonna have my own restaurant. It's gonna be called the Round Table. That's it.
Yeah, Bendover's Round Table. Come on over too.
you were able to create a whole new fantasy
Jonathan
life.
Bendover. Yeah, held under the name Jonathan Bendover.
And Daniel didn't give you any stipulations.
No,
like, hey, you're allowed to create a new fantasy
anything
life.
you want.
And in your fantasy life,
His
that
name
you're allowed
is
anything.
Jonathan Bendover.
And you work at a restaurant called the Round Table, which happens to be
Your
similar
podcast
to your
name.
podcast name. All right.
If I were
Close enough.
If I were the Goombas in charge of killing you, I would literally. I would
There he is.
Get him.
No, I would take the weekend off. I'd be
Bendover's
like,
Round Table. We're going to shoot him in the parking lot.
No.
All right.
I'm going to shoot the place up.
So
He's got a gun.
That's our line, really.
Semantics. I don't know if they're doing a new episode this weekend because they probably
leave him alone.
good luck to
It's just gonna
Travis
make
and
him more-
surgery.
Yeah. You get in there, you end my podcast, you piece of shit.
But you could
Leave
check out
Travis alone.
Semantics. Thanks to Remy, and you can check out his podcast, Remy's Round Table, where all podcasts are heard, or is it hard to find?
No, it's easy to find. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're all over.
iHeart?
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're on iHeart. We're not even on iHeart. Search for Jonathan Bendover's Round Table.
That's right.
Remember when he first tried to get on iHeart? They're like, oh,
nope.
there's the whole process.
They're like, we can't do it. We're like, we absolutely can't do it. I'm like, well, Drew Garaba's on there, and he's Cox Media, you fucking idiots. I did say that, and they were like, well, we'll look into it.
Take us off. I don't even want to be on it. Anyway, it's fine. And we will see you on Monday's BDM show.
Yep, see you then.
Bye-bye.
Wait a minute, I can't publish that. It's mediocre.